perspective, for the folks at home, how important is this game one, right? It's the official kind of launch. I know we had the Kickoff Classic, but this is where the points really kind of start to come in. How important is this game one in regards to momentum for the remainder of this series for both of these teams?
Oh, well, it's absolutely huge, man, especially starting on Raid Hardpoint. This is one of those classics maps that you're going to have players like Scump, probably Formal, have played this back in the day. When we first started competing against each other back in Black Ops 2, which is basically like 10 years ago, they're going to have this map down to a T. So if you're new players like Fire, probably haven't got a chance, you have to adapt to this quickly.
Yeah, you definitely do. And we talked about this map when it was in rotation back in Black Ops 2. But Scump, he was one of the youngest players. 8 years later, he's now one of the oldest. A classic indeed as we get this thing started off. Paris having a few opportunities to hop inside the hill off the rip. But it is going to be Chicago taking over control early. It looks like they do hold spawns for next. Player number 4 possibly causing a little bit of problems. Fire, he gets cut down. Same thing with Dashy as he falls in the hill.
And this is great for Optic right off the rip. You go 3 dead once again. You're going to be able to at least gain another 15 seconds on this first hill. And you have the rotation towards that kitchen side. So far, they're starting off this hardpoint hot. We're going to need Paris Legion to start focusing a little bit more on the rotation. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Fight through mid-map. Totally forget about that P1 hardpoint. Set up for the second.
We'll see how they look to try to engage the front. Scump, first man in the line of fire. And Envoy actually tosses out the nade. That's going to be 3 in the feed. Classic doing everything he can through money, and it looks as if it actually is going to work out for him. So he is able to stay alive, and despite the nade, Legion do get the spawns kind of toward that back basketball court position. So highlight plays from Chicago. Paris still keeping strong.
Yeah, Classic made a tremendous play. Going around that water side, going to money, trying to pick up a 2-piece, forces this player to spawn at basketball, and the opposite players from Optic to spawn towards Raid, but they just did a great job of just holding this from the front, eventually clearing out the players in the back. They're going to hold a full 60 on this P2, and since this is Raid Hardpoint, man, you're going to have to answer back quick on this garage hill, or this game can get out of hand quick for Paris.
Classic, one of the first men already out of the gates, and Legion, they actually end up spawning toward that back kitchen position. So if you're Chicago, this is great for you, given the start of this game. You're already in a great position in regards to the score, and now you can also lock down P2 to P3, which by no means is common. Fire with that 74U wants to try to get in here before the trophies start to get locked down. Optic setting up camp as they will hold on at least to the start of this first set of rotations, but see what they have up their sleeves in regards to the initial attack, as Envoy keeping it up on a 5 spree, starting things off at 10-4. How about a 6th one in a row? Dylan Envoy absolutely heating up, as no one from Paris really even having an opportunity to get closer toward that hill. A few players still sitting in Art. And how about the 7th? Envoy not slowing down, heads over to top. Art, don't tell me he's going to win with this fight. Oh, a little bit close, a good opportunity, but what a start from Chicago out of the gates. Already a 100-point advantage.
This is scary for the Paris Legion. So far, they have gotten destroyed on every single one of rotations. Even when they're getting there early, people on Optic are winning their gunfights one-on-one.
常に人数不利の打ち方されてるよ、これ。シンプル。
You saw that Envoy picked up that artillery. He's going to be able to use it off this rotation. That's why they sent it 3 towards that backside. But Fire and Classic trying to play spoiler, able to take 2 down, now forcing all of Optic to spawn back at water.
I know we saw for a moment Fire. I think it was a 1-9 start in your debut. That's not exactly what you want as the Legion try to hold here at basketball. We're going to go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Optic Chicago.
Money, one shot. I'm waiting. He's close. Ready? Ready? Let's go. Bait. Let's go. On the heady, hurt. On the heady, not feeling.
ああ、キッチンだからこっち乗りできなくて、こっちにはいたんか。違うか、こっちにはいてたか。
I have ring, guys. I have ring. Where's the kitchen? One could be water too. I got 1 ring. I stuck one ring. I have water now. Could be water stairs. I have water, guys. I have water. Right to the kitchen. He's in the right place. Bro, HTT fire. I have water stairs. He's going water stairs. Yeah, I have 1 ring. One shot. One shot. Got it. Stack if you want. I'll pick a ring. Yeah, stack. I have ring. I have kitchen. Full stairs. Here. I have dead.
これ若くない？あ、若ないんだ。
One more. I spawned new. Two there. I'm watching our Zig.
Communication, a
今作の SMG ってどんな立ち回りですか？マップによって違うから何とも言えない。
Really kind of throughout that calm session, it is Chicago streak after Chicago streak. The XM4 is hot for Formal. It is hot for Dash. I mean, everybody is going off right now. I think Formal just a moment ago was like 12-2. Now he's 13-4. They are all guns ablaze to start off this raid hard point.
It's unbelievable, man. This is a great first
なんとも言えないけど、なんだろう。もう最低で抑えるみたいな感じじゃないかな。やっぱり。
majority of their gunfights, we were talking about it beforehand, Aqua and Fire need to be those players to step up. 7 and 15 for the young man. Decided to change off that submachine gun and pull out that XM4 to try to bring his team back into this one. The good thing is, they get this remaining
2人引けてる判定になるから、あれか。まだこのジョークで湧くんか。
But Paris Legion, they need an answer. 3 go down for them right there. Hopefully they keep the rotation spawns towards kitchen. That number 2 player, which is going to be Classic, has a big gunfight versus Envoy.
A big situation right now for Classic. Envoy in the back spawns, able to shut him down. So good attempt for Envoy, at least for the moment. Classic cleans him up.
セットアップ的にパリが良さそうだけど、LG 死んだらちょっとわかんない。
This is their opportunity to start to bring this one back, and it has to happen now. Scump pretty much walks right through the front door of kitchen. Nobody watching it. Scraps also ends up getting taken down. Classic up close. He also falls.
あれ？
Strong optic. Pretty much walk right through the front of the hill, and they
結構準備できてたくない？今。
That's what the third, if not fourth hill that Optic has pretty much not held the rotation for, yet grabbed the time, as now we see a team kill come through on Scraps and Fire.
Yeah, Paris Legion, they just did not have a good setup. Nobody watching the front side, just one player sitting in money. All they have to do is just break through that front, forcing the players from Paris to eventually spawn out towards water. Now Optic is holding this from the front. They have 22 seconds remaining on this hill. They're going to be able to push into another hill, into that P3. Look like Paris is going to be fully set up to try to bring this game back in. But the way that Optic are starting off this
ここ潰しながらローテしてるのかな。
It is, and your Legion, you're just trying to put up the flames, you're trying to do anything you can, try to mitigate a lot of the early dominance that we've seen. As Envoy is calling the artillery. It used to be called Lambos. The cars here now, they can explode. And unfortunately for the Legion numbers, they're probably learning that progressively more and more. A lot of experience with Chicago. We talk about a few of these maps, this one in particular, as Envoy comes pretty much right through, ends up taking them down. It's the explosives working to his advantage. There's a few more seconds left, and this one is going to be cleaned up. Can Scraps get there in time? No, not going to happen. And Optic Chicago come out with a dominant Game 1 victory.
早い終わんのこの試合。
Exactly how you're going to start if you're Optic, man. From start to finish, they were dominating.
なんか知識的に勝ってるからえぐいよなでも。
Counts were there when we went for the Astro.
なんか結構上を行ってそうシンプルに。
Back. Now, when it came down to the kickoff classic, at least for Paris,
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to slow down at work.
they did win one search and destroy, that one being on Miami. They actually dropped checkmate to London 6-3. So a little bit of history when it comes down to this map. Not fond history. We'll see how this round begins to start off as Envoy finding the first blood onto Fire, the bomb. Quickly trying to make its way, of course, into that top plane. B, the preferred site. We talked about this map. No smokes, no snipers. Definitely a, of course, into that top plane. B, the preferred site. We talked about this map. No smokes, no snipers. Definitely has changed
なん
things.
かこういう試合の起こし方の展開多いんだよな
Versus
マ
two
ジで。
Scraps
10面とサー
may
チ。
have an opportunity. Try to cut down Scump, but the plant does officially go through. And now we have a little bit of a stack up. Players just happening to walk right past each other.
あ、いいねでも今。
Ends up
おお。
and there goes Scump as well. Paris grabbing the first one.
That was a great defense. You saw Envoy. He opened up with the first blood onto Flyer into that plane.
後ろに2枚下がってるのか。
Aqua and his teammate Classic were pushed up on towards that AS and D.
この坂のオプティック2。この坂のオプティック2が。
Once that bomb goes down, Scraps
あれでしょ。
exactly
も
where the
う
players ran.
なんて言うんだろうな。
That left wing, Aqua put himself in a great position right here. Not
去年のシカゴが今のオプティックだから。
It was a great first defense, and if you're Paris Legion, this needs to be that answer back.
強いよね、
Like I
楽しい。
said, this is a team
去年のオプティックはあれだから。
with players that nobody really
よくわかんないチームだったから。
their rosters, so this can be one of those scary teams, especially in a map.
ロサンゼルスのチームってだけだから。
Yeah, that's a great point, right? Legion, a lot of guys kind of coming together. I know in a few conversations with guys like Fire, Scraps as well, they've talked about, hey, you know, we're
Okay,
trying to
okay,
rally
so
around
imagine
kind of being in a similar situation.
やるに戻した
We'll see if that kind of factors in this game too, trying to rally around each other, bring this one back. B, yet again the target and Skunk from the
あ
floor
くっついた
does get dropped by the nade, so nice early start for Paris in your beginning offense. The trophy's going to be out. Dashi, aware of it, decides to go ahead and hold on. They try to attack this from the wing. On the outside, actually through the windows. Classic, able to shut down Dashi. An instant 2 versus 4 now for Chicago as Formal able to pretty much pipe on in, takes down
なんか
Scraps.
だいぶ無理がある
Far
あれね
could try
起き
for
て
the
ない
challenge, but one up top, one down below. Formal, last man alive. Could make something
Ooh.
happen. Does shut down Fire, so 2 more players left, and both of them just happen to be right where he's walking as Paris starting things off. Could make something happen. Does shut down Fire, so 2 more players left, and both of them
めっちゃ動いて
just
たね
happen to be
That stud set up.
map lost. On the other end for Chicago, it looks as if it's going to be that 2-2 split now toward the A Street. Envoy, it likes to rain here. We saw that in the kickoff classic versus the Thieves. 2 early headshots.
ファイヤーがどこでや
On
っ
the
た
other end for Chicago, it looks as if it's going to be that 2-2 split now toward the A
あ
Street.
ロングで勝ったんか
It likes to rain here. We saw that in the kickoff classic versus the Thieves. 2 early headshots for the Legion.
ねここ詰めるの絶対強いもん
That
な
attack pretty much over toward the opposite side. Quickly gets foiled. Skunk now on the flank. Gets punched in the
Oh.
face, and Classic is going to be there. Dashi is going to at least find the trade, but early side quickly gets foiled. Skunk now on the flank. Gets punched in the face.
見ていったんか
Themselves and non
Towards that A site.
なるほ
They're
ど
really
ね
playing their defense as well.
I know Chicago talked a lot, really kind of coming into, you know, kind of opening weekend here. The Atlanta home series, Search and Destroy, is one that they've kind of felt confident in. It's been one that they've been really working on.
じゃあオプティッ
but
ク3-0じゃなかったっけ
so far in this checkmate, Paris have without a doubt had their number.
めっちゃ不利だけ
Dashi
ど
quickly brought down to 16 HP. A common spot is Paris quickly around the corner, check it, but Dashi, he's long gone, at least for the time. So, site cleared out. This is no surprise, bomb site to watch. Classic's obviously going to be able to get it down, but come toward the flank, may be able to catch an angle. Tosses out the nade just to get some information. Goes for the challenge, no teammate support. Tries to hide behind the bomb. Scraps. He's going to be too good. Shuts him down with the headshot. Envoy, meanwhile, on the flank is able to take down Aqua. Fire realizes it. Envoy doesn't care. Here comes the pinch. Scraps will fall, and that is going to be a defuse. Now in for Chicago. Envoy continually on the flank.
Yeah, pick up 2. Work around the backside, and that's what Envoy did, and he
オプティ
executed
ック
that.
オプティックのメンバー全員わかるああまあ
Yeah, like what we saw at least
多
tough
分あれだよねその
コ
コットンの歴史辿ってったらさ一番短いのがアンボイだからアンボイしてれば全員わかるよな
Back at MW, presence was felt in a number of different ways, but I feel like a lot of the highlights were in the mode of search and destroy, and he's able to rally back. The young shot caller for really a group of veterans, obviously Dashi, younger player still, but E2P got a lot of respect for this kid and see what he's got.
You see the
Comes down to
adjustments
this-
coming out of
this
Paris
round in
Legion on
particular.
their defense. See Paris Legion just
このオプ
completely
ティック
giving
の
up
さ
that
攻めの形うちがやってる攻めと
Have a
結構
player
似てるけど
that was sitting
やっ
inside
ぱ
the
こういう場所に入れたら
back
無理よなマジでこっち先抜かない
like,
と
I'm not doing it again. We have
なんとか
lost
して
this
ファイヤー
place
抜かない
and
と
it's just not gonna work. So Dashi's gonna open up with
あ抜いたんか
fire. Now it's looking like
出るそうだから
45 seconds remaining on the clock. They're looking like they're gonna commit towards B. They're gonna have their hands full with that number 1 player in Scrap sitting at the back left corner. Should be a bait and switch, and the Envoy's gonna commit to the challenge. Pull up the trophy. Almost gonna be able to take down one. Now
あ詰めるんですか
1v1
すごいね
situation, and he's gonna get taken down.
フォーマル
Should be a bait and switch, and the Envoy's gonna commit to the challenge. Pull up the trophy. Almost gonna be able to take down one. Now it's a 4v1 situation, and he's gonna
あ
get
なるほどそうやって勝ってったの
To
か
notice a few of those streaks indicating really
アンボイっていううん
big difference makers toward the end of things. Envoy now on 3 in
俺
a
アンボ
row.
イって言った
On the other end, again, the debut for Fire, 1 and 4 to
日本
start.
人エンボイって言うけ
You wanna
ど
see, but
あと正しい名前はアンボイ
I wouldn't say the game is early,
でもなんか
but
そういうのあるよね
it's time for that guy to
だっけ
have a
日本語読みと英語読みで違うみたいな名前
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, he is just getting his feet wet in his first CDL match of his entire career. So, you know, he probably has a couple jitters in him, especially going
いや
against
もったいねえなパ
stuff
リ
like Formal, who you've been watching for a really long time. As I say that, they're going to be able to open up with 2 kills. Now it's fire and scraps. 50 seconds remaining in a 4v2 situation. Scraps
なんかこういう流動的なあれに弱そう、パリっていうか、多分この流動的な動きが強いんだろうな、さ、チケメとそっち。わかんないもんね。ポジションすぐ変えられる車線が多いから。羽とかでさ、うろうろするの。じゃ絶対強いもん。そこは壁抜けます。
Fight for that plane control. Number 2, which is going to be classic, up towards that bottom left wing, may be able to get aggressive.
Classic wanting to be aggressive again. Envoy, really right around the corner. If you can get that bit of control, and he's going to fire out a few shots, but really kind of around the corner makes things really difficult for Paris, just in terms of wanting to hold that plane control. Given it is the center of the map, and given that it is most common bomb site. Really the only one that we've seen attacked for the most part.
They have the cross set up. So what Classic and Aqua were doing right there, they had Aqua watch his entire left side of the map, and with Classic watching his entire A push through. It was a great setup. Unfortunately, gonna see Formal open up the kill. Now we're in a 2v2 situation. Classic and Fire versus Dashi and Formal. 28 seconds.
あ、スカンプが死んだんか、あれで、ファイヤーの。クラシックか。気づいたことがあって、はい。機内の壁、防衛から見て右側のところも少し赤い抜ける。どこの話だろう。ここってこと？この壁？どうしてもこっちの壁ってこと？どっちの壁だろう？ここはね、抜けるんよね。すごい抜けるなんだ。壁抜きしてくるところ。左、ああ、やっぱそっちか。なんだっけ、斜めじゃないところも少しは抜けるってことか。なんか角度によりそうだけどね、それは。抜ける抜けないより。
Winning his individual gunfight. Being that island player right there. Scump able to take down Scraps. Last player is going to be up, and he's going to get taken down by Formal.
キョポとピークめっちゃ疲れてて、なんかパリ無理そうだな、これ。はいや、キョポから引かされてる間に右からピークされてクラシックとか死んでったな、今。
That's now going to be their fifth, and how about this play from Formal, man?
Oh man, that was an insane play from Paris. They tried to catch him off guard, trying to rush towards that middle plane, but Scump read it easy. Sat on the back of that control room, was able to pick up one, and then you saw Formal slide in, able to pick up another two. I would have liked Paris Legion, you know, but going down to the final couple of crunch rounds, just play their standard setup that they had.
パリ弱くね。なんかパリ、なんだろうな。うまくいってない感えぐいよね、でもパリなんか。オプティクが強いってのもあるけど、シンプル。
Curious off the start if we were going to see Paris kind of show that same aggression that Chicago showed last round, but
ルキーいるからある程度仕方ないかな。
opposite side was open. The trophy is going to blind Scraps for the time. Pretty much just trying to tuck away yourselves in these corners. Finds the first blood. Classic's there for the trade. Formal, pretty much just hanging out on the wing. Plays big again. Aqua's there. Take him down. The constant X and or fights are now going to leave Aqua all by himself. A 1 versus 2 to try and force the round 11.
めちゃくちゃ動いてカバー車線引いてくるね、オプティック。すごいわ。いいね。
The new young duo. They want to try to stay together. Dashi might have saw him, and Dashi does. Chicago walk away with the search.
まあでも最初の3ラウンドはなんかパリが取れた理由感あったけどね。取れた理由あったと思う。
that pace. Who's gonna be slaying?
うちの得意マップばっかだなこれ。クラシック、そうヒゲのパリのヒゲの SMG でパリヒゲ多すぎか。これクラシック。
Slaying power of Optic. This series is gonna be done.
Yeah, it's gonna be over in I don't want to say record time, pretty darn close to it. Different adjustments needed for Legion is already off the rip. Chicago.
なんでそんなところから始まった？
Yeah, it's gonna be over in I don't want to say record time. Pretty darn
めっちゃ引きでもあれか枚数削ってから行くのか。
Legion is already off the rip. Chicago finding 2 early ones as they'll look to go ahead and grab some time over at A. Nearly 1 tick through, and Scump's already thinking about the future. He's already taking a look, and Laundry may even try to go for the rotation toward back jungle. If it's clear, they may actually try to go for this. So something to keep in mind. Chicago already off the rip, finding A. I think that's player 2 in Classic who's trying to go for the flank. He will end up taking down Envoy, but nonetheless, off the rip, Chicago, they grabbed the first point quick. And that's what, 2 minutes now on the clock for them to kind of work over at B.
Yeah, well, that's 2 kills coming in from Dashy, able to eliminate both of those players at the zigzag area. You have a couple players that were trying to go around that backside towards Laundry. That player in number 4, which is going to be forcing all the players from Paris Legion to spawn at basketball. One were able to open up with 1.
これはあれかリストがされてるから来てるって分かるのか。
Being the nuisance on the side of Optic's base. They had to try to find him quick. 3 go down. Last player is going to be Aqua. He's going to get traded. Now it's going to be a full stack onto B. What a flawless round so far at Optic.
Just how they drew it up. Dashy off the rip. 5-0 start. He's thinking maybe about
これもう終わりそうだけどこの
quickly has to turn
あでも
around because
3枚
that's
抜
a
いてる。
3-piece coming through from Legion. So Paris do manage to get the collapse, but again, if you're Chicago, you're talking about what that 1 tick progress already.
エイドは別にねどっち有利とかない気がするなでも。
Have to be conscious of it. The live situation, not really all
有利も防衛有利もないと思う。
at least for the time. Fire's going to catch the boots of Envoy, shut him down, and try to get him as far away from the point as possible. As Paris trying to set up, I don't want to say a spawn trap by any means, but they're definitely conscious of where the opposing team happens to be, kind of toward the other side of Lambos. Fire was, in some cases, spawn blocker there, and now has the opportunity to play spoiler here for Top Mansion. That's going to be 3 in a row for him.
Oh,
Take it down, but that's really just because he was overwhelmed by
すげえ湧きしたな。
the Chicago players that were near him.
強ければ有利。オプティックが有利。
You're going to see scraps with a big 3-piece. Unfortunately, it's going to get taken out by Scump. But now all the players from Paris Legion are going to be out of the base except for one who's going to be Classic, trying to just stay alive. But so far, man,
でもこういう上がられ方するとコントロールきついよな防衛。
forcing Optic to push either straight
こういう
or rat back. And
クラシックみたいな上がられ方する
going
と
in。favor of Paris Legion. This is
クラシック
a
こういう
great
のがいいイメー
defensive
ジある
move,
な。
even though they gave up that A-cap nice and early.
Yeah, great response from Legion now. Chicago just look to try to find any little bit of an advantage that they can. The dominance early, as you called it,
残り時間がない
since
からもう
then it has been
戦う
all Legion scraps. Does get dropped. No respawns remaining now for Chicago. Pretty much about valuing your life like it is in Search and Destroy. Envoy drops from the front. There goes Dashy, Formal. Now all on to Scump, and he's not going to be able to get to the point in time. He falls as well. And that's Legion.
なんか正面から行き過ぎ感あったよなオプティック。
And in some ways, kind of, I know I kind of said it off the
people
start,
not
so
that
it looked like a spawn trap. I mean, that kind of was, right? They had
Paris, right?
Astro Gaming listening in Paris.
パリがそこ以外の場所で使いたから勝った。
Got money.
One's water step still.
Water stairs still. What, flank, Envoy flanked.
Come absolute. Watch that. I'll see guys one on one.
フランクフランク。
Yeah, I don't see nothing. He's right. Yeah, he's a bedroom. He's a bedroom. Flank for us.
Money.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm filling out.
Bottom bed.
Bottom bed. Really low.
Dead.
Pushing us.
One in the corner as well. Scum absolute. One in the corner.
Yeah, I got him.
Four. On B.
Yeah. He's on. He's in.
Ticket.
Nice. I have a trophy on us.
I'm getting basketball. I got a trophy basketball. Money.
Yeah, I need it. They have trophies.
Give me that money. Dashy's leading money. Weak. I'm gonna try to push him.
Hey, left corner.
Tree. Nice. Money. One squeaky more there. One money. No, too money. Job's done. Let's go.
I got money. Money on me. One shot. Yeah, one's the money. One's the
Black van. You need me?
One is gonna be
すごい取れ有利感あったけど返されたな。
That sounds like a team who's hungry to try to bring this one back, making some good progress early at B. They quickly
Kira
bounce
kung
over to A now. What'd you like there from the Legion throughout that comm session?
おう。
I just liked how they committed
なん
themselves.
かアンボイのフランクに一周やれてね。
Say job done, job done. Getting 2 ticks at B right off the rip.
B は取れたか。
Forcing all those players to try to wrap back and kill you off is the best case scenario because you're all just going to spawn at A and eventually work your captures. But as I say that, Optic is completely slayed out that A point.
こういうのに一緒にやられてない。
Art going to force all the players from Paris Legion to hit through this water side, but they're fully set up for this.
SMG 上がるの強いんだろうなこれ。
Someone needs to open up with that first blood eventually to work one way.
This is what we saw.
That's a good way with a trophy.
Yeah, that is indeed. This is kind of what we saw at the Kickoff Classic and what we saw in the last round, right? Envoy just kind of wants to hang out in Lambos. He wants to try to make those players spawn toward that back mansion position so that everybody from Chicago knows exactly where the push is coming from. It's by no means the more favorable side.
私今スコンプに当てたでしょ。
That A point, quickly trying to hop inside of money that is Dashy. Manages to take down Classic and Legion. They're trying to go for the pinch. They want to
アンボイのフランクがあるからこっち使ってんだろうな多分。
best as they can. Envoy's pretty much gonna hang out there, try to find a few calls from time to time. Scraps is able to wipe him away. We've got pretty much stragglers on both sides of the map. Now it's gonna be Fire. He finds himself over in jungle. I think Scum's somewhat conscious of it. 40 seconds on the clock. Both teams similar.
あでもこれプール使われてる状況でさこっち入っても意味ないから。ほとんど。
Well, it all started
これ
with
多分判断だと。
one-on-one versus Envoy. You saw that opposite player from Paris Legion flanking around the
レイトロス
backside.
じゃ
They
ね。
were eventually forcing all the players from Optic
アンボイ
to
だけ
spawn
じゃん。
at water. There's gonna be one player on this point. Classic versus Envoy. He's gonna get taken down. Envoy trying to do everything he can to just stall enough time for his teammates to get to him. 2 kills are going in the favor of both sides. Dashy's here for the help. No respawns left for Paris Legion. Dashy with 2. 3 players remaining. I cannot believe Envoy just made that play. I thought this was 100% going to go in Paris Legion's favor. But unfortunately, man, Envoy stalled enough time for his teammates to get there. 20 seconds remaining. 6.
ギャラの中で立ち回られると無理よな。こういう時間とかない状況で。きついしこれ。
Should be. We'll see what Fire and Scraps have up their sleeves. 4 seconds left. Can Fire find the peak? And Scump's not going to hand his life over. And really from there, Paris not able to hop inside of the point.
There is going to be a player in money. Envoy's going to be able to spot Optic. I thought this was Optic to spawn outside.
Leaves 4 seconds. Flank to flank. They deserved it at least when it came down to the beginning phases. 1-1 we go.
飛ばしたいのもある。多分そっちがメインかもしれないね。
Exact same thing Paris just did. Try to go towards that B point. Formal able to open up a first blood onto the guy in pocket. There is going to be a player in money. Envoy's going to be able to spot him, but your main objective here is just try to earn some early ticks if you're Optic Gaming. They're eventually going to be able to get one. Now it forces all the Paris Legion.
ビポ取んのやっぱミッドっていうかキッチン取らんと無理くない。ねこうなるもんだって。あでも取れあ取れた強いアンボイ。
Aqua does end up getting taken down. So really when you kind of see that push
今のは多分無駄ピークだと思うけど。
in the beginning phase, it really has been, and really the last 2 rounds and the last 3 rounds, the opposition, the defensive team instantly wants to try to put somebody inside of Lambo to block off that spawn. They wanted to try to keep siphoning into B, get put into somewhat of that line of fire attack. As Formal was hanging out there for a moment, Scraps is going to wipe him away. So 2 ticks of progress over at B for Optic, as now they'll quickly transfer their forces back toward A.
これもうきついよなパリでも。ワンゲージだからワンウェブでもうまくされた。うまくしばかれたら終わるじゃん。
Yeah, you just gotta go back and forth, and eventually, if you know the opposite,
スカンプすげえ固まってしてるし。
you push up the entire opposite side, and that's where you see Aqua just all the way through water side, trying to flank towards that art area. He's gonna decide to go back, but this number 1 player Scraps is just causing a spoiler, forcing them all to spawn back. Eventually, worry about this player, but number 7, pay attention to Envoy, sitting in basketball nice and patiently, just waiting for a player to push. They only need 1 more tick at B. So far, eliminate Aqua right here at this top window, and they should have a full setup again in it.
なんでいいんだよアンボイ。
Good opportunity. What 2 versus 1 classic?
あキッチン取れたらどこ行ったんかこいつ。なるほどね。
Trying to cause some issues for the Legion every single opportunity they get to try to pop inside of the hill, try to get a line sight over at B. They end up falling over in Little Room. Classic and Fire, they'll combine for 2, so that will wipe away Chicago for now. Keep in mind, they still got a minute 14 on the clock, and these rounds are huge for the Legion because this very well could be our final game. Not letting Optic get to that 2. As Formal staying strong, and Tiki. Envoy drops as well, so limited forces, but Formal hops in. Can he win the fight versus fire? On the other side, it's actually Scump finding two inside a kitchen, so this is great progress. Can anybody from the Legion actually hop inside of the point in time? And they won't. They will not hop inside of the hill. And that's going to be Chicago finding two inside. Envoy drops as well, so
シンプルに勝ち負けたんか。
It wasn't obviously the final.
あそこね。
Two early ticks to B was the best case scenario. They saw Paris Legion do it on their
わかりました。なんか構造的にシンプルに少ない。
Accidentally sticks Scump in the back. I'm sure the Cobs are pretty funny for that one. Maybe a future CDO video that we can see how he reacts. But not the start that you want. But given the way the last two rounds have worked, Chicago had a lot of things go in their favor. One kind of minor detail there is giving Paris actually a great advantage over at A. So we talk about little minor mistakes, how those can start to siphon in. I mean, this would have been a full 4-on-4 battle for Chicago. That instantly changes things. And really within the first 10-15 seconds of the round, Paris, they've already locked on that A control point.
Yep, and that's exactly how they need to respond, man. Getting that point nice and early, even though they don't have anything towards B, they have 2 minutes, a lot of lives to their advantage. Now, since they just went 3 down, they only have 2 lives advantage here. But Optic, you're going to see exactly what they're doing. Envoy, being that player to just force the players on the opposite side of the
この攻め結構微妙に見えるけど、きちんと取れたら強いのか。
Aqua's going to win a big gunfight on that Zig. See Classic trying to work out on the back with his teammate. Fortunately, almost there to try to keep them at ease bay. Scump is also there for the help.
Bears trying to make their way inside a kitchen. Formal, who's been so difficult inside a jungle, finally gets dealt with. Scraps is happy to give the comms over to his teammates. The possible pinches here, and Scraps pretty much just walks right through and says, "Thank you so much, teammates." As everybody falls like flies. Chicago now pretty much off of spawn. They're going to have to get into this point pretty quick.
ジャングルとかそこら辺取れてたらきちんと取るだけでもうバスケであれだもんね。停滞させちゃうから、停滞っていうかもう何もできなくなっちゃうから。あとはフランクさえやれればって感じか。でフランクやって勝ち切ったらいいし。邪魔やお前。誰やお前。
Legion are still getting the time. They have to hop into this point quickly. Classic is here. Envoy has to hop in and gets the time, but no. Legion, because of the
backside, means onto the player in the basketball area. Unfortunately, there were just 2 players remaining. All the players from Paris Legion are spawning directly on the water.
コントロール BO4 の頃からジジしがちだよな、どこのチームも。
Now, we're in a round 5. We're in a round 5, and let's see exactly what Optic decide to do here.
Yeah, Chicago getting the offense parade in this round number 5. Already off the rip. The attack was made known over at B, and Dashi doing anything he can to try to pick up from carnage that just took place. And it looks as if B is still going to be their target. You see from Legion, they still have a few players over at A. The quick spread now to B as they realize what the intended target's going to be. Formal tosses that nade from afar. Unfortunately, physics in the water, it's not going to work out that great. But there's a 3.
何してんのやっぱり。なんか誰もキッチンキープいなかったけど。
Opposition numbers fall like flies, and
すぐ取られるくないこんな。
progress due to the stack that they have inside of the point. That's going to be a very quick capture for Chicago.
せっかくパリ防衛スタートなのに。
It's going to be on A, and Dashi, he's starting to heat up now at 5 in a row.
And you can just see right off the rip, Envoy has all the information that he needs. He's spawning at that B street. He knows that there's a player pushed up in their base. He has to try to eliminate this guy. You're going to have Envoy and Scump trying to look at this one player. Scump's going to be able to win the gunfight on the Scraps. Now, they should be able to have some arc control here. Next player off on the line of sights is going to be Aqua. He should get taken down. Now, full arc control. They're going to be able to get that player that's rotating mid. 3 are going to go down for Paris Legion. Optic, all they have to do is stack here, and they're basically out.
Very good position. Now for Chicago, Formal with the cutoff over at Kitchen. Has to be aware of those water stairs as the bait and switch tries to be attempted. However, the trades are going to be there for Chicago. Time starting to tick away. Time starting to go again. And Chicago are going to walk away with this round 5 as well as this series in a hot 3-0. It looked good for Legion at times. In fact, it looked great for Legion at times.
えらい待ってるよね。ちょっと通信行待ってタイミング合わせてピークした。俺多分あれピークしちゃうよね。俺なんか マップえぐいぞこれ。あんだよこれ。大好きがいがあるぞ。
We talk about this beginning Atlanta phase with the advantageous spawns in regards to P2 over here in Garage, but as you called it, a very fast-paced map, a map that I'm sure Simp and Abizi are going to feel quite at home on, despite again the loss to Florida at kickoff. But get things started here early. It's Silly winning the initial engagement now versus
ちなみにこのゲリラズのアスラとシリアパシの3人組はワラワラズの頃の世界チャンピオンの3人組。ここにビビットがいるって感じか。
Yeah, that was huge. You saw Vivid, he dropped down ice and had that one-on-one play with that guy that usually plays at AS&D. He was able to walk out with that gunfight. Once his teammates were able to pick up all the kills on the hill, they were able to flip, go down once again for for FaZe. This is bad, man. They're going to be going towards that P2. It's going to be 20 seconds remaining on P1. 30 seconds for the LA Gorillas. This is a great start to this first map for the Gorillas.
で、こういうラインの上げ方した方が強いんだろうな、クロスロード。
That XM4 just trying to utilize the movement to the best of his ability. He'll get taken down. FaZe will grab the remaining seconds, but really kind of given the positioning, you're overall very happy with that. If you're Gorillas, right?
そう。シップやばいやば。
Easy plus, you flip spawns in the very first few engagements. However, we talked about it. Crossroads, it can very quickly start to go back.
FaZe United、ああ、ほとんどユナイテッドだよね。だから。ユナイテッドから何でしょう、プリスティニとクライスターを抜いてセリウムを入れたみたいな。
Zip's trying to be there for some remaining control. So take down apathy. Still, presence being felt from the Gorillas. A valuable 30 seconds left.
And if you're Atlanta FaZe, it's the best case scenario. You decide to all push through that P1 area. They were able to chain 3 kills back to back, forcing all the players from the Gorillas to spawn all the way on the opposite side. And it's a great bounce back for Atlanta. Now the only thing is, Gorillas are going to have the spawns for P3 and for P4. How are they going to decide to play this? Are they going to decide to just flood out this hill or play towards that hop up?
It's a great call, and that's what LAG is trying to be aware of. Is kind of that spread, multiple lanes.
セリウム強いよ。
By Atlanta FaZe to try to go for the flip, really, because
どの先でも強くないセリウム。
That's where you're looking to lock down some time, and Gorillas they want to try to play this one carefully, play this one passively, don't give up too much time.
プロの中でもトップだもんな。なんで取られたこれ。あ、2回先に取られてまた出たんか。
Get inside of fire, actually toward the outside, able to drop down Arcees, 40 seconds still left in the hill. FaZe getting
あ、後ろ気づいてる。
It looks as if toward that outskirts position, toward back rock, it's a wide open spawn. In Atlanta, they might have exploited that.
Yeah, Atlanta did that beautifully. They just all stacked the hill. Once they were able to chain the 2-3 kills together, eventually a player was able to push out of that back and eventually give his team the spawns. This is a great setup out of Atlanta FaZe. There's going to be 20 seconds remaining on this P3 hard point. They didn't even need to go around that cliffside to try to flip it. And that was the perfect case scenario. Once you're able to chain a couple kills in towards that P3, players should automatically start spawning out if you start pushing up the map a little better. And so far, Atlanta FaZe, after playing a terrible P1 hardpoint, they have bounced back tremendously in the next 2.
You look at player number 8, Apathy. He's waiting for the hop up. He wants to try to have his teammates rush to the front so he can try to make a play in the back. And Arcees is aware of it. A clean 4 down for Atlanta FaZe. Overall dominance being displayed over at 10. The guys have got to be hyped. In fact, let's go to an Astro Gaming listening with the Atlanta FaZe.
半回出てこうやってフランクするの強いだろう。オールダウンする。
I have a question now.
One trophy there.
That's okay, that's right, right up and right there.
Cat. One team cat.
Okay,
Fence. I'm staying down.
Right.
Cat.
On team fence.
Fire door.
I backed it up.
Fire door. Justin, fire door.
Fire door dead.
I did not flip. Telling you assault.
Just one in front. They're hitting you. Take your time, just hold fire.
One trophy. Push our fire.
Back door.
The trophy.
No, he's
No front door.
出て。
There's 2. One's on fire. One more outer.
outer. He challenged me.
I'm going with you. Fire. Don't say anything. I got a trophy. Leave out.
I'm trying. Give me tires.
Look at your outer. I have your outer.
I'll build.
Stay down. I'm watching.
On team cat.
There's a guy tires.
Top. I'm hard flash. Staying down.
He's on
No,
track.
I'm getting your oh shit, have your cat, have your cat.
I'm
Cancel it,
back track. I'm
cancel it.
tired. I'm tired.
Alright, I like it.
Stay down. Stay down.
I'll put cat.
Cat. I don't know.
Justin, watch out. Just one more time.
Truck.
Good job. Four. Push.
I'm on streaks, I'm on streaks, I'm on
Yeah,
streaks.
they're still there. I'm turning around just kids.
In back.
On the truck, yo, on the truck.
Hey, once one, yes. Vivid and
Chance to listen in with the comms of Atlanta FaZe, what RC's brought in from Chicago last season, studied for pretty much that exact reason. They want somebody to kind of speak up during the big moments, and RC's absolutely can provide that for this team. And in combination with the slang from guys like Abizi, Simp, and Celium, it makes for a phenomenal combo. Simp currently finding himself on a 6 as Atlanta looks to try to stack upon the lead. And we'll see if Gorillas can hold on to this. We saw constant spawn clips last
よいしょ
time around.
タイヤまで行くのすごい。あれねすごいねびっくりしたわ。
Pretty much toward that back crate position.
Oh.
Pretty much trying to be a thorn in their side.
めっちゃ滑るやんシンプ。
Walk through the door, and now they've got the second.
あでもこれしかいないのか。
Once again, all the players from Atlanta FaZe just pushing through that P1 side. You saw a player from the LA Gorillas.
うちをファーマシ
Parallel along with one of the players from FaZe. They're just trying to do everything that they can to hold this remaining time. 30 seconds are going to be left on P2, and it's looking like Gorillas have finally settled the storm here, able to take some time, eventually break that 100-point mark. But like I said, man, the way that Atlanta FaZe held that very first rotation of P3 and P4, if you're the Gorillas, you need to break this nice and early. You need to be able to flip these spawns on their head and eventually have someone sit back there this time so they don't flip on the backside.
And it looks as if it might be silly trying to go toward the hop up. Definitely gonna try to play spoiler, and maybe even as the Gorillas try to engage from the front, they may be thinking more long term, as Apathy does find the unfortunate team kill, also drops.
ザコとリーグ行くの無理だ。誰と言ってんだよ。
Shout out to the observers. You've given us all angles.
それじゃあ赤猫スライディング。赤猫スライディングどうやってやるの今作。やり方わかんないんだけど。
They now have the most favorable ones for P3 to P4. They also had the time inside of the hill.
悲しくなってきた。誰と言ってんの。
That determination that we saw from them, a roster who's going to really work on the small things. They decided to kind of sacrifice a few players from the front in order to get the ending exchange. At least for now, it's working out steady.
Yeah, perfect case scenario, man. You just cause a distraction at the front side of the hill, give Silly enough time to work around that backside. Didn't even need to pick up a kill.
フェイズのリテイクめっちゃうまいね。
Now, Atlanta FaZe are going to be able to pick up the remaining 15 seconds on towards P3.
田中リザーブレオリ
But
ダ
you
ス
see the LA Gorillas spawning towards hop up. If you're Atlanta FaZe, all you have to do is just bum rush the front side, but unfortunately, saw the
No comment today.
on a BZ and eventually slow down their push. If you're the Gorillas, hold
し
the
て
full
てスライ
60
ディン
here.
グ。なんかタイミング難しくないこの時。
Definitely can. This is the hill. Do it on a few of the streaks
なんか
inbound.
砲撃の範囲狭いよな。
Player staying alive, but
思ってたけど。
at least that player who was actually hanging out in the hill.
田中あれなんだっ
He
け。
gets cut down. Now, pretty much toward that
馬場さんやったことない
back
か。
position is where the remaining two are going to be. That's Silly, that's Vivid. They both get dropped, and now the Atlanta FaZe, they will take control
めちゃくちゃむずい
over
そう。
tent, pitching one themselves, a simp from the side. How about possibly 3 in a row? No, Vivid's going to stop that one, so some control still gained from FaZe. Vivid trying to.
でもなんか初戦の通し方とかなんか打ち合いでなんとかしてる感あるな。
Onto Silly, Celium's able to win it. Hill's going to be vacant for the moment, but as the
YTR
dust
最強だ
settles,
と。
it is
どこで
RC's
YTR
who was there to grab the remaining seconds. FaZe, it's only just a matter of time, it seems, in a major lead situation, grabbing the remaining time here at P4. And now here on the reset, the Gorillas, they've got a lot of work to do, my friend.
Yeah, if you're the Gorillas, you basically need to play flawless hardpoint from this point out. R-City's 25 and 18, Simp 20 and 15. You see all the players
さん YTR ってどこってなるでしょ。
are basically negative. The only one positive is going to be Silly. We're looking at Apathy on this map, 17 and 23 for the young man.
あやさんさすがに3人キャリーはきついね。
Atlanta FaZe.
失礼しました。
They can try to fight back from this P1 hardpoint.
アパシどこに乗ってんのそれ。
7 seconds, 3 going to go down, 4 go down for the
死んだわ。
Gorillas. Time is just going to tick away, and it's looking like Atlanta FaZe are going to walk away with map number 1.
Yep, 250. Score limit reach, 251.
リテイクうまいけどなんか守り方の初戦の落とし方多分
More dominant than that.
きつい気が
As
す
your
るな。
home team, Abel.
This series right here, because we know about the kickoff classic, Atlanta FaZe did lose Crossroads hardpoint. This time they're starting it off different, winning that map. They did lose 2 search and destroys in
まあ
that.
外風さんで
Not
キャリーすれば
really
いいじゃん。
expecting them to do so, but if the Gorillas have an answer,
あでも2人キャリーもきついわ。 PB で行こうぜ。ガイさんパマジ俺リザーブで。パパさんに永遠にキャディしてもらえるよ。ビットどこで死んだ？ちょっと待って。あー、あー、普通にピックされて死んだんか。
To see a lot of those first bloods this season. Assault pretty much has to get backed up from his light's position. Gets met with a few AR shots from sent from afar. At least they look like AR shots. Very well could be the 74U. But nonetheless, Atlanta with full
こうなったらもう設置止められないよな。
as well. And it's pretty much just allowing for the opposition to try to run on in. I think it was LAG who were trying to play off of the bomb plant, but that one's not happening for the moment. The trade is there, and now it's going to be 3 versus 3. Silly on the outskirts of A. No presence there, and Arshdees finally feels calm to go ahead and plant that bomb down.
もうなんか L 字下げられた時点で無理ちゃう。この字とパーツがあるけど。ピークされてたら無理っしょ。詰めてきたのに今回やばくね。分かってなかったんじゃねシンプルに。オプティックしか勝たん。分かってなかったからさ、あれじゃね、2人いると思わなかった説はある。まあでも見えてたか。見えるか。しか勝たん。ハポだけボコボコにされてたのね、あれ、やっぱり。レドハポ。レドハポでなんとなく。でも、割とオプティックの動き正解なんかなと思う。見た感じ。スポンで結構ボコしてたから、まあ個人技も強いけど。あ、確かゲリラズのね、この攻めがなんか綺麗みたいな。まあ、11ラウンズで見た。これの B 攻め。このラウンドだっけわかんないけど。
Silly, you can see he's playing it totally different from Simp. Simp got aggressive in green and just made that player who's playing A. It's going to be Arshdees.
あれ5番の位置でレジ見て8番があれこの字のアビージを止めといてその間設置入れるみたいなパシが。いや、サルトがいるからもう動けない。で、L 字ロックもきついから。モスク欲しかった。アビージのむずい。あれ、モスクハーポハイライトしか見てないからわかんないまだ。
Was planted prior to the team fight that we witnessed. Vivid is hanging out in that crawl space. Meanwhile, it is going to be Arshdees from the top side taking down one. Now to a 1 versus 1. Arshdees versus Silly. Arshdees still has some work to do. He has to try to seek him out. Does he know exactly where he is? He earns the call out, able to find the kill. Can he get there in time? And it looks as if not going to be the case. Cannot get over
関まで行ったあれね、あの車線の敷き方と CD でもあったんだ。このラウンドは。あ、オプティックとフェーズでやったのちなみに。
Just play with Arshdees a little more. Once Simp went down, Silly, all he had to do, just lay down, saw enough time. He knew Arshdees was going to play for the kill and not hop that bomb.
もしかして。
Great 2v1 out of the Gorillas. I mean, out of Silly right there. Tied up 1-1. That could have got out of hand real quick if Simp would have not challenged that. Being up 2-0 on a map like this can get really scary and out of hand quickly.
Adjustments from Gorillas, back-to-back offensive wins. I'll go and bite my tongue for the time. A lot of teams clearly making some adjustments from the kickoff. You notice a lot more kind of standoffish defensive prowess.
Yeah.
Trying to look for the picks as Abizi will be happy to eliminate as many trophies as he can get. Those things are absolutely killer, I tell you what. Abizi taking some fire off the rip. We know what he can do in the early stages of rounds. Is happy to sacrifice his life as long as it means a first blood can come away with it. As the optic barrel explodes and Apathy with a nice line sight, Atlanta look to continue this attack over at B and establish that map positioning. The twinkle toes of Abizi. Good night, says Apathy. Atlanta are left to morale.
ナンシテ
Now in the
ィとは
3v3
パーツ
situation,
の手前のブラウン管のところを倒したんか。
Gorillas know that Atlanta FaZe is working towards B. Apathy is going to completely give up his positioning, trying to work towards that side pocket area. 28 seconds remaining on the clock. It's looking like RCDs and the boys from FaZe are trying to wrap this towards A. They're able to open up with a kill onto a soul on the backside. Apathy with a big trade. Here comes RCDs taking down Silly. Last player alive is going to be Apathy. Left in a 2v1 situation. Needs to play quick.
Not quick enough. Apathy does everything he can. I want to say he does shut down RCDs, who is obviously on the bomb. What was that, like a mask? In O. Crawl space attempts. It's always going to be B. And when we talk about this map in particular, just really because of how skinny it is, right? There's not a whole lot of movement opportunities. If you want to try to get into top green, good luck. There's always going to be a defensive player there, especially off the start of rounds. Still is going to try to toss off some utility, get some bit of awareness.
フェーズのサーチああいうのうまいですけど、割とキル取りに行ったりライン上げたりするけど、
It's who also switches over to the XM4, so
人数かけてあれにリスク背負って
they
動
may
く
have
の
an
がうまい
opportunity
気がす
to
る。
work. At least that pick is going to separate Atlanta because they want to have somebody in green. So 2 players guaranteed at B. We'll see if the Gorillas can play off that man count advantage.
Yeah, having that player in green is going to be huge, but he's going to get taken down by Celium. Great shots coming out of lights. Assault's able to go on a trade onto a BZ. 40 seconds are going to be remaining.
これさ、この字のやつが雑にしろってさ、もう B セッチ止めらんないからきついんよな。
FaZe had to all go through mid-map and eventually rotate towards A. But they do have the man advantage. Sips in a great position, able to take down Apathy. Note there's another player in dark, but he's going to get
こ
traded
こからカバー入れたらサルト。
out to Salt.
あ
And
ー
Silly versus
ここから入
Celium.
れた。
Celium
す
gonna
ごい
go
ね。
through.
強。
Unfortunately, he's gonna get taken down there. But great adjustments out of the Gorillas there, not to play
攻め有利なの、
too fast, not to worry
ガ
about
リソンは
the
防衛有利だね。
Archdies tried to be aggressive in towards top green, but
基
got
本的
taken
には
down
防衛
by
有利って言わ
Silly.
れて
It was
る。
a good opening kill for them.
防衛取得率70%ぐらいあるらしいよ。
Right up 2-2 indeed. Good situation there for LAG. I thought Simp may possibly be there to spoil the party, right? Kind of hanging out toward that
全部
mid
攻めじゃ
position.
ね。あ、今のところ全部攻
Obviously
められるけ
finds
ど。
one, but you never know with Simp. Obviously, a lot of opportunities to walk away with those 2 pieces, those triple kills. A lot of potential.
でもなんかね、フェーズが取られてる理由がね、なんか雑に死んでるかな気がする。ゲリラズが取られてる理由がフェーズがうまいからだと思う。
Those can start to equal out the trades. They'll be in a good position, and the opposite side of that walkway is going to be Vivid. He'll quickly get out of dodge. Really, it's just utility, right? Just trying to get some information on both sides.
Yeah, you saw right off the rip, Vivid and Silly were trying to work towards that top green area. Abizi was able to spot him, force him out of there, and Apathy's playing back towards that beat bomb. They know that they're not working for the plant. They like to play that rat back. They have full control of top green. This is where this round can get out of hand if you're an Atlanta FaZe fan. 38 seconds remaining. They have every different line of sight to get that guy off. Atlanta FaZe need to come in and make a play, at least get a first blood to make this round possible.
指令の57が動き見せたら終わる。見せらなかったな。
Atlanta now man disadvantage, trying to tear us up, make that now 1, which is going to be Simp. 1 versus 3, a very tall task. Let's get some nice shots onto Vivid, but the full kill is not going to be inbound. Does have that XM4 to 74U combo, so you'll take that given the situation for the moment. Does shut down 1 onto Vivid, shuts down 1 onto Apathy. A good attempt, but just because of the way the objectives.
FaZe to consider that bomb site, able to win a tremendous defense there. Now, if you're Atlanta FaZe, I would like them to be aggressive as well. Try to play aggressive towards mid-map, aggressive towards green, and that's exactly what they're going to do here.
なんでそれたの普通に正面が
Initial engagement, green to top and rather keep in mind as a BZ, a great 2-piece on the flank, very well could break open the round, but just as that initial engagement, green to top floating, always want to keep in
なんかさ、もったいなくね。
rather keep in mind as a BZ, a great 2-piece on the flank, very well could break open the round, but just as that happens,
無理にカバー入れようとしてね、これなんか。
Gorillas are now going to leave Archdies all by himself. He's going to have to do this solo, which both players have a good understanding of where he is. Shuts down the other AR in assault. Can he stay alive? Archdies decides to dip down into bottom middle. Archdies versus Apathy. A huge round for both of them. Apathy does get the timing, and Apathy gets the kill.
Let him up waiting for those players to come in and try to trade. Unfortunately, I went from a 2v4 situation to a 1v2. And that's not exactly what you want if you're Atlanta FaZe there. You need to be able to close out those rounds.
Definitely do what BZ decides to get aggressive push out toward green. He sacrifices his life, and we'll find out if it's actually going to be worth it. Arseny's able to turn and burn onto Vivid. Looked like it was going to be the A hit. That's why we see the rotation come in from player 6, Assault, and now he's the final one alive. Wondering what just happened to my team. Where did they go? And the round's over. Atlanta FaZe.
いやでもなんかこのフェーズの攻めはなんかトイトリーがある気がする。ちゃんとおじさんに詰めて。あ、拾ったんか。そう。これでいいんじゃん。あ、だから一人って分かってたんか。
I love that. Everybody probably thinking in that moment, during the clutch in that last round, Apathy's alive. He's got to be in the crawl space. And that's exactly where he is. A great lockdown as Celium able to walk away with the early first blood. That one going to be on Assault. Normally hangs out toward top caution. Vivid this time around also with the AR, able to trade things out. But dust begins to settle. 2 versus Assault. Normally hangs out toward top caution. Vivid this time around also with the AR, able to trade things out. But
2人で仕掛けて負けたら終わりだろマジで今の。
able to find one Silly there for the trade, and how about this 1v1? BZ now versus Silly.
めっちゃ外風強いんだよね今日。
Decides to take a look at the crawl space.
Make or break rounds. Bomb is going to be down. Top bridge steps. BZ has an assault rifle in his hand. Time is going to be ticking. Silly's going to decide to go pick up that bomb. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Going to have to work towards one of these bomb sites, but BZ's in a great position to spot him. Now, both players have the knowledge that they have to know where their players are. Flash is going to come in for Silly. Back down to BZ a little bit, but BZ's in a great position to just try to get this guy off bomb. Silly trying to push into the lights area. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. BZ is going to be set up perfectly. Would he check A? Nope. It's looking like he's going to go straight towards B. Take down Silly.
First blood, he's actually trying to come away with. As now we're level at 4-4. Atlanta now on the attack, and we'll see what that presence looks like instead of green. It looks as if they do have a BZ and Simp both established in there, and that is a terrifying duo to have to face off against. Arseny's does spot the head of Apathy, decides to say, hey, go and hold on to this nade, why don't you? Apathy actually ends up dying because of
mistakes were made.
And there was 1 versus 4 already off the side. The head of Apathy decides to say, hey, go and hold on to this nade, why don't you? Apathy actually ends up dying because of an own nade.
鉄板の方ピックしたけど誰もやれんかったんか今。もったいねえな。
Arseny's just read that absolutely beautifully. He decides to pre-nade into that rat hole area.
髪の毛のそこ。
trying to get out of that situation, nades himself, but then he's in those map number
12. Having gunless, they bring in Prestini.
いけるんだねあそこ。知らんかった。
Arseny's, despite running the flex, is absolutely excellent last year. I know it may not kind of pay off in the stats, but this guy is such an excellent addition for the Atlanta FaZe in a number of different ways. Not even just in his talent, but also because of the intangibles that he brings. Obviously here in the Search and Destroy, playing a big difference. We'll see if he can maybe have a nice highlight over here at Radar, but it is the first blood found from Gorillas.
Yeah, Apathy was able to open up with the first blood. Arseny's able to get the trade. A 2 police is probably in his favor here, but the player's going to back down from green. Now, if you're the Gorillas here, you have to work up towards this B-bomb site, try to take control of this lights area. There's not going to be a single player from Atlanta FaZe that's trying to ruin their party, except for the one player that's going to be in Rat Hole. They have no one gaining information on that. They try to work towards this bomb site. BZ is going to be able to take down the bomb carrier in Apathy now. 25 seconds remaining. BZ does have that bomb down, has all the information. Vivid is going to be one shot in top green. Celium able to take down Assault. Now it's a Vivid in a 1v3.
Vivid in the 1 versus 3.
なんかイボのゲリラズの判断もったいないな。
Can't win the fight. A nice engagement for Vivid, but he has no
タクト一人でピックしに行ったのもあれだし。
For the few phase, will they
rat hole, dropping down bottom mid.
どこのチームもチェックメイトコントロールやらんな。マジで。
Controlling top green. That's
あ
the
の
best
ゴミだか
position
ら
on
な。
this entire map. Your team is controlling top green, regardless of if you're on offense or defense. It should be pretty easy on both sides.
Here we go. Gorillas, the opportunity of forcing the game 4. Atlanta FaZe, will they have our second 3-0 sweep of day number 2? We're about to find out. Getting things kicked off really over at Walkway. Off the initial fight, Atlanta FaZe happen to try to dip their feet inside of that B control point from time to time. However, Apathy right around the corner. We're really, 30 seconds in, we finally have the first blood, and it's met by a number of other ones as it fills up with red. Atlanta FaZe walking with the early 4, and they've got to be careful because Simp is on the hunt. Silly is there to cut him down, and Arcedy's there where he left off.
Once again, Arcedy's is holding top green, forcing those players to try to wrap back towards A. It's looking like they're completely giving up on this P point. They went 4 down right off the rip.
People
only died once. Now Vivid's able to open up with the kill onto Sip. 2 minutes left for Atlanta FaZe to try to break in towards this A point. Know exactly how they're going to want to play this. Just work around the back side, a couple of spawn kills. 3 go down for the Gorillas. The last player that's able to hold this line is going to be Assault. He has a tough task at hand. He's going to get dropped. Now the Atlanta players are going to be on this point, forcing the players from the Gorillas to try to break in. Silly's going to be the last player remaining, but Atlanta FaZe played this perfectly right off the rip.
Yeah, and that presence really, instead of bricks, makes Assault have to rush forward with the with the XM4. You want to kind of stay in those positions, but he had no choice. Atlanta really taking map dominance over the Gorillas. Or rather, with the XM4, you want to kind of stay in those positions, but he had no choice. Atlanta really taking map dominance over.
ビビッととハパシで特攻したんか。なるほど。すげえ大きさないわ。びっくりしたんだけど。
That crawl space potentially was a Beezy. Silly is there, cuts him down. So some good kind of mid-round adjustments being made from the Gorillas. They finally kind of get him off the control point and have a little bit of room to breathe. But just as that happens, a big 1v1. Celium wins it over Apathy. However, the nade, really once dead, coming in from App, is able to wipe away the point clear as Atlanta restarting. A minute left, and they've got 1 tick on A.
Well, a minute left, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Worker on the backside. Simp able to open up with the first blood onto Vivid, but he's going to get dropped. Great nade out of Assault there. Our mini-map fully pulled up on our screen. That number 7 player is going to be Silly, just playing his life at this site. He has the entire top green area, but he knows that all the Atlanta FaZe players are going to decide to go through middle map, try to get around the backside of bricks. Abizi able to open up with 2 kills. The last player alive on the site is going to be Silly. That number 6 player in Assault, you have to try to get to your teammate quick as it's starting to go down to the wire here. 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Atlanta FaZe need to make a push towards this point to stop the time.
Starting to stack up in bricks. Player 3 still alive. That's going to be Simp. He drops, and now last player alive is Cell. He was really never got the clearance from his other SMGs to be aware of that pinch. So he ends up staying alive. He is going to play his life. 5 seconds left. They have to get onto this one quick and fast. They do have man count advantage when we talk about lives. Vivid, last player up, and that is going to be it. Gorillas really couldn't survive for much longer given that life differential that we saw off of that first point. Atlanta, they run over to B, get the dominance there, and pretty much play top green the best way they can. But I'll be honest with you, Steady, really, the presence inside of
first side of the map, on defense, you're going to be spawning a lot farther than when you're dying in the middle of the map. Trying to play for more map control. Atlanta FaZe continuously just pushed right off mid, working around the backside. You saw Silly the entire time just trying to stay on that 8 point. It wasn't really working out for them, but hopefully they're able to answer on this offense here.
Yeah, we'll see what Gorillas have up their sleeves as we'll go ahead now to an Astro Gaming listening with Los Angeles.
4本に1枚いるだけでめんどくさいよな、マジでコントロール。
Right side mid, right side mid. He's mid map. Top green now, like. They're gonna push up. Fair kill.
Still alive, still alive. I think he's front of you on you.
Top cubby, top platform, top platform.
Caution
Down.
out, caution out.
With right. You have him come right to you right now. Stop truck, he's close.
You right now.
Alex, you're pad on the truck. I'm wrapping the garage.
One's you, dead.
Truck somewhere.
He's front you, front you.
Still around truck.
Backed up, I think.
Backed up.
Still front you, I spawned you.
Front you on me.
Can't link around with you.
めっちゃずれてくる。あ、BG と一緒に。おお。
Could be you. Okay, I'm going quick. Could be you or Mike. Could be 5. Okay. But just one thing as well. I need L. Yeah, okay. And I'm about
a much different offense now here for Gorillas. We'll see if they can try to hit time here over at B, and a big two-piece coming in from Silly. Instantly fires away at top green. Vivid's there for the trade, and it looks as if they will possibly be able to lock this one down. And yep, based off the spawns, Atlanta, they're going to go and issue their forces elsewhere. Now over at A. So, scary situation. Gorillas, they're actually able to rebound when we talk about the live situation. Got a chance to listen to their comms, study anything to note as they now rotate toward A.
I just like how clean they were in their comms. Even though they're down 0-2 in the series, they were still sounding like they're trying to fight back into this one. You heard Silly just being aggressive towards that right side of the map. The only thing that I liked what FaZe was doing right there was just pushing up. Like I said, playing for that map control when you're on defense, just controlling the spawns. And that's exactly what they were doing for the entire first side until the very end was Silly popping. And this is a great case scenario for the Gorillas, because when you're in that spawn trap, it's really difficult to get out. But Silly with that huge two-piece, keeping the comms clean, is really good. Looking forward to them in this round right here.
こうやって後ろ3枚でいったりした方が強いんよな、絶対。
They do lose one man, but they're fine with it. Pretty much what? A BZ last man on the point. It's actually player 3 Simp who does push up.
The entire
does
time
end up finding a kill onto Silly. BZ hanging out in green, able to find one.
Last player alive on the point is going to be Assault. Fortunately, he has to try to play his life perfect, try to stall enough time for him to go down, but Abiz is going to get dropped. Salyum in a great position outside of lights, forcing all the players from the Gorillas off spawn. They have 15 seconds to try to get to this point, trying to break through bricks, but Sims here trying to play spoiler, able to take down one. 7 seconds remaining. This is looking like Atlanta FaZe are going to go up 2-0 on this map.
いや、ガチュードクロ使われてる。
ending fight on the Skycam view. 32-0. One round away from another hot 3-0. Atlanta FaZe looking solid. Really a number of different things to kind of point out for them, but that initial offense for me was kind of the breaking point.
Yeah.
Their ability to kind of rush through bricks constantly. LAG just not able to hold on, but now's their opportunity. This is their chance. If it's going to be any time, it has to be now. They do not want to start off the CDL season by getting the 3-0 sweep versus Atlanta. They've never actually taken this team down in CDL history. They've met up 2 different times. It's been Atlanta each time, 3-2 and 3-1. Now it very well could be 3-0 as Salyum tries to get started off hot. He gets cut down. At least from the start, it's looking better for LAG, Study.
Yeah, this is a lot better. Their very first defensive round, they went 4 down and gave that full B side up. RC is able to pick up 2 around this mid-map area, but here's the Assault on the backside, able to take him down as well. 3 are going to be off spawn for the LAG. They have to try to fight back quick. You are FaZe. You see those number players in number 1 and number 3. Trying to fight towards that bottom right mid. Number 1, which is going to be RC, is just holding off top green, making sure his teammates do not have to worry about that. Able to win a big gunfight onto Vivid. 2 go down for the Gorillas. 3 go down once again. And it's looking like they're going to be set up for A as well. It's a big gunfight. Making sure his teammates do not have to worry about that. So now ticks are going to be going on both points.
でも英語読めないから無理。簡単な英語しかなくない、でもどうせ。
Does get taken down, but Atlanta do get some time. Arsenal is going to be here on a 3 spree. Quickly
すぐ読める程度の英語じゃね。こういうあれに書いてあるって。
For some backup, for a little bit of support, AR, VAR. How about that one from Arsenal and up close?
詰めんのかよそれ。
Lovely presence from Alec, and look at that player on the bottom side of our map, pretty much toward the left. It is going to be Simp quickly on the flank. This is going to be their attempt to try to force it through bricks. The spawns are going to stay over here.
STRK って書いてあるのがストリークっていうあれのぐらいはわかるし、バカこうでも OBJ がオブジェクトみたいな。
It will be cleared out for LAG, but Simp is
much
wait for that team push. They have something in mind, and they do have a minute to do it.
Yeah, Sim's playing this beautifully, man. Apathy on the opposite side is pushed up all the way in their base. 5 spree, the young man, actually the father, is coming alive. His team needs him to be here. 2 kills are gonna go down for FaZe. Sim's still in the back of the spawn. He's gonna win a huge gunfight. Onto Assault there. 3 are going to go down for LAG. Last player to hold the stands is going to be number 5, who's going to be Vivid. just trying to play his life at that front side green. But 17 to 10 lives in favor of Atlanta FaZe. They are playing this perfectly. They only need a couple more spawn kills until there's no more respawns remaining for the Gorillas.
Have to be able to clean up RC, so that continuous flank at least being managed right now from the Gorillas. As time starts to tick away, like you said, my life count advantage not in a great spot, but if Easy could play spoiler, Vivid's gonna read it. Arstees nearly gets dropped through mid as Assault still hanging on to the point. Arstees tries to go for the flank. That's not going to work out. Now things start to get scary for Atlanta. Can they hop in? Green, it doesn't look all that likely. They shut down Silly on the flank. They have to get in the point, and they have to get in it right now. Anybody hop inside? Arstees, well, the time has actually expired. Arstees is still here. Can he make anything happen? All of his teammates off of spot.
Through green. Their offense right now, they have to have a different game plan because we saw the way that Arstees decided to be aggressive. They're gonna get 4 dead, and they're just gonna push up, man. You need to be able to win this very first initial gunfight and open it up with a first blood. You guys to not lose map control off the rip.
Gorillas, they do have some presence inside of mid. And for Vivid, he just wants to go ahead and back up. He's not gonna have to deal with MC hanging out on that head. He decides to go ahead and reference back and just spot the Sim. Arstees is there. Yet again, it's kind of been Arstees the savior for a lot of his Atlanta teammates. Always there and always trying to go for the trades. And really, Arstees off spawn, a clear beginning for this game. 38 seconds left, and LAG, they do need to start making some progress before things start to get away for them. And Assault has a big position. Given his presence right now inside of top green, he falls to life, really gets a lot more difficult. So one fight won from LAG, the other by Atlanta. The explosive goes off, and now it's one player left inside of the hill. One player could decide how the remainder of this game goes, and that's actually going to be after he gets cut down from the side. It's going to be Celium, 13 seconds left. Abizi hanging out inside the fence. He will cut one down. Assault as well, trying to stay alive through middle. 6 seconds left. Decides to actually make it to the flank. And he's just trying to get as much time as possible, trying to stay alive for the rest of his LAG teammates to come off of spawn, and they cannot get in the point in time. We'll walk away with this game 3-1 and a hot 3-0 in this series. Some good attempts from LAG toward the stretch, but they just did not have enough time. They didn't have enough presence. They didn't get a point. And that
よいしょ。次の試合見るか。ゲリラズとパリか、これ。これ、ゲリラズが勝つでしょ、3人で確か。ハーポパリ、なんか、ハーポ下手なんかな。
So, map 2 is going to be that map for me to watch.
Map 2, definitely one to keep on track of as You fly in here for some good old Crossroads hardpoint, and one thing to keep in mind,
That you got.
we talk about new teams,
うまくいってない
new
っていうか
atmospheres, Gorillas. Pretty much all the players, when you look at their stats, when you look at their history, have not won a series in the last 8 months. So a big deal for the Gorillas, a big deal for the Legion as well. A lot of proving to do when we talk about this series, as Legion getting some points early and looking to hold on to those spawns for P2. That's player 6 Classic, watching toward that ice side, doing some damage through the midstream.
And I love the adjustments. You can already see it, what Paris Legion have done. They switched Classic off that submachine gun, they put him at that flex roll, and they put Scraps at that second sub. So far, they're trying to keep up their aggression. They're trying to have Scraps and Fire work around as that sub AK-74U duo to match up versus Vivid and Apathy.
A map like Crossroads, again, just based off the performance yesterday, you want to see the Gorillas start to kind of make a few of those adjustments. Legion as well, looking to do their own thing, but for the moment, Legion still doing a good job at getting the time, despite having to back up. Aqua does get some assistance on those sandbags, but it is Assault who does win the back and forth AR duel. For LAG, it's pretty much just what, Study, kind of trying to make your way around toward the sandbag, try to get these players off of that top head position, and also watch your back as Vivid able to fire away with the double. Classic as well, able to stay alive toward the back end, and it looks as if Legion, based off of that play from Classic, are able to spawn up. They'll also keep spawns for now, and a valuable 40 seconds left as the young rookie in Fire looks to hold on to the hill and wins the fight versus
2階からああやって降りてこれるんだ地点まで
A great double coming
それは知らなかった
from the rookie.
I love this adjustment out of Paris Legion. It's working out in their favor. Classic 8-3, running at XM4 is really working out for them so far. They're gonna get this remaining 20 seconds on this P2, but LAG do have spawns for P3 and P4. Now it's all about the same thing as yesterday, just communicating, making sure you're having one player consistently stay in the back, not all dying at the same time, because once that happens, you're gonna spawn out and you're gonna be playing from the back foot the entire rest of the game.
And you kind of talked about it at the top of the series in our breakdowns. Big struggle yesterday for LAG was just not holding on to P3, not holding on to P4.
しゃがんでも見えるんじゃなかったっけ
What, 2
見えない
seconds,
のか
4 seconds, something like that. A handful over a tent, despite seeing that rotation 2 different times. We'll look to see what LAG have up their sleeves as Fire wants to run in just as his teammate ends up dropping. Assault from the top railway ends up dropping too, and LAG are able to continue to siphon players into P3.
Yeah, they're playing this beautifully, man. 4 are going to go down for Los Angeles Gorillas, and now there's going to be a couple players spawning out on the opposite side. The only player alive is going to be Assault. He's going to have a tough task at hand. A player's going to jump right in front of him. Scraps is going to get taken down. 2 players are focused on him in the back, trying to stall enough time for his teammates to come in from the opposite, but Aqua playing spoiler, picking up the big 2-piece. Eventually, his teammates are going to spawn in the back, and once again, man, the LA Gorillas just lost those spawns for P4, and this game can get out of hand if they don't break it quickly.
Saw him do it yesterday, and Legion's going to make it
Aqua
pay.
short-sighted.
Desperately want to get Aqua out of that back tent position. And shout out to that new hardpoint timer. It's going to show us, and obviously the players, which they know where the spawns are, but where the next hill is going to be, and it looks as if already off the start, LAG quickly start to swarm the hill. Player 7 was there to the rescue, but keep in mind, Apathy is on the flank. They actually are able to get 3 players to spawn back here inside a rock. That's Vivid hanging out through middle, and just like that, it is going to be the flip. So back and forth we go. Paris is holding it. LAG now back in their control, and Apathy watching from
Scraps
back and forth we go as this hill
バレてんのに
continues
な
to be a crazy one, Stud.
Yeah, man, LAG did a great job right there, not letting the bleeding to continue to go on. They were able to flip those spawns right off the rip, and then eventually try to fight for some time, but Paris Legion ended up getting the remaining 25 seconds on that, so they're eventually going to break that 100-point mark. Now, if you're LAG, you just need to focus on these rotations a lot better. You need to make sure you're not all dying in sync, because you're only down 40 points. You're basically playing from the back foot this entire first side of rotations. Now it's time to just step up in the slaying department, and I'm looking at Assault. He needs to step up and try to match Classic right now.
Yeah, good call. Assault on the AR, looking to try to make some damage happen across the map, as we'll now go ahead and go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with the Gorillas.
Jump on people.
Sharp on the hill, sharp on the hill. Bring it back right here.
Box, use the hill, tell me out, B. Absolutely use the hill.
Back right hill, we're still in play.
Yeah, I don't know where he went. I don't know where he went. I hit him in the hill. He's close barrel, neck, weak, laying down. I'm going icebox. Use ice box. I'm going icebox. I got one.
Top hill.
Weak.
I got 3.
Four.
Get hill, get hill.
Go.
I can go 3.
Right, I'm saying A to need that. I'm saying A to need.
Fire dead. I'm backing up. I'm trying to play street. I have mid alley.
I got you. I don't see nothing P4.
They're gonna hit this. They're gonna hit hill, I think.
They're gonna hit through P1 probably. Yeah, they probably are. They're doing out. Big door. Big door. Dead. I'm one shot. I do.
I will push you to hit it. If it's a test, I'll push. I'll watch you push.
They're about to hit it. They're hitting now. They're hitting now.
Top cat.
He's behind the box. He's outside the big door screaming. I'm moving.
Got him.
Nice. There you go.
One. I got him.
Oh my god. I'm gonna top.
I've got it. I've got everyone. I've got all left. I got all left right now.
Top.
Dude, he's one shot. Going top fire. One's mid alley.
I'm top fire. I'm looking top fire. Got one.
Nice.
I'm looking at the alley. Top fire again. Top fire again. Top fire again.
Top is 3.
Big door. Last hit big door.
I've all right.
One shot low. Big door. Outside the big door to the left. And one hit the ice. Big door. Scrap. Get time.
Good.
Well, that's shoot. Dead.
Nice, you win.
I'm firing Nick.
一歩うまいなギリだけど
Top fire Nick, going to the cross.
めっちゃ固めてんじゃん
Pass it like P1. What's big box on me right now?
Yo, right above you. Just keep playing kills. Right above you, weak. Half health dead.
You leave big box.
Nick is one shot top 10 right now. He's top 10 in the right.
He fell down.
I have a streak. I want to save for next though. Yeah, hit left.
Gorillas are starting to come alive. Study what you take from those comms.
Oh man, nice and clean, man. You could just tell that they were playing a lot more aggressive, stepping it up when they need to. They held a full 60 onto that P2 hard point. Apathy was slaying around that mid cut, eventually was able to pick up some streaks, and those could be really useful going into that P4. All they have to do is basically flood this out and win a couple gunfights, but 3 are going to go down for the Gorillas. That's going to slow down their push. They're going to have to readjust and try to hit this one more time, because Paris, they do have spawns going into P4. They're gaining all this hill time. They can pull away here.
Yeah, that's a great call. Legion in a good position to take a solid advantage in regards to the score. Silly and Apathy trying to lead the way to the front door. However, Fire standing in their way. It looks as if his teammate's going to pick off the cutoff there. Scraps as well. He and Fire doing some damage inside of P3. A great look for them. However, you have to look toward that back cutoff, toward that back jump up. It's actually going to be Apathy again, causing some issues, and this may be the spawn flip now for LAG. They get it just in time. They'll grab the last few seconds inside of P3, and now they've got the setup for tense. It looks as if Legion
He
gets cut down, and now here comes the team fight. Vivid able to hold
Fire
strong. Aqua still here, but it is going to be Gorillas holding on for now. As we see constant spawn outs, this map really in general is a fast one. If you're not careful, you can quickly get thrown off. Classic falls from the back, and now it looks as if Paris may have wiped the floor. Big team fight is now Paris has for Big Rock. Back and forth we go, and Apathy streaks.
Kills are just going back and forth the entire time, man. One player snuck through that backside. He just eventually got taken down, which was Aqua. 2 players, all 4 players actually, for the Paris Legion are going to drop there. There goes 20 seconds. That should go in the favor of Los Angeles Gorillas. The only thing is, man, they had the full setup. They let a couple players just break in. They didn't use any streaks or anything like that, so their setup had to be bad.
ボックスいても当然のようにわけねやばいよな
They had a couple streaks.
このマップ嫌いだ
Trying to
俺
just build this lead back, but still being down 25 points is the best case scenario if you're the Gorillas. Now you don't have the favorable spawns going into P2, and we saw how Paris Legion dominated when they held the spawns from this P1 hard point so far.
Yeah, it looks as if Legion, best case scenario, could possibly reach a double century mark first. As LAG making sure they do have that frozen lake covered. That's actually going to be Apathy, who has been a menace so far on the map. So about his performance yesterday, not too stellar at Kickoff Classic. He looked like one of the best players in the game. And having this performance is easily going to give LAG a much better chance. As now the 5 streak again for Papa Apathy. Can he shut down Aqua? He does. Paris in the middle of trying to make an attempt to flip those spawns.
なんかパリ取られてるポイント何もできてないリテイクが下手なのかな
Take it down players, shut them down left and right, and there's the 9 streak. Apathy exploding on the Legion. That's going to be now 9 in a row. And Paris having a hard time really just breaking out of their spawn. Apathy, another opportunity as the cuts are watched, and the Gorillas are going to take the lead here at Garage.
Oh man, Apathy is catching fire when he needs to the most. 9 kill spree. He's gonna have some streaks. He's gonna be able to use that artillery to try to give his team some comms and know exactly where they're coming from. 3 are gonna go down for the Paris Legion. Eventually, they're gonna break that 200-point mark. And the thing that gets scary about this is Paris Legion, they need to try to break this in, because even if they hold that P3 for a full 60, they will not close up the game. Apathy does have 2 streaks to his name to try to break out towards those P4 spawns, but Paris Legion, man, they're just dropping like flies, one by one by one, not waiting for their teammates. Apathy's on a 10 spree. No one is stopping Father App. So far, he's on fire right now.
He is. He's been the major difference maker for the Gorillas, and you see the impact, the way that that instantly changes the game plan.
2回多分入ってないよね。蹴るやつ、防衛っていうか、有利の時。2回入らずミッド入ってるよね。
If you're Legion, you got to play great COD. You got to play some solid rotations when it comes down to P3 and P4. It's been
ミッドの方がカバー車線敷きやすいとかそんな感じなのかな。
yesterday in their loss versus Atlanta. Apathy continues to be a problem.
強くねなんか。うち。アパシやばくない。
And now 10 seconds left for the Gorillas to close this one out. Aqua has to pull out the pistol as Paris is now spawning on the other side. A few seconds left. If they can hop inside the hill and just try to delay this, they'll be feeling a little bit better, but to no avail. This one looks to be Gorillas to lock up. And Apathy, can he close things out here? Can he try to hop inside the time? Actually, it's going to be Vivid who picks up the kill. Apathy hops inside, and that is going to do it. LAG locking up this one, 250 to 199.
They play really slow on their offensive rounds. Let that time tick.
見れないことはない。なん多分リが来たって段階で2人ぐらいで打てるから強いのかもしれない。
And Paris Legion just stick to their strategies and no one try to do too much.
When we talk about Miami, a beautiful city, a beautiful map to take a look at, but you've got quite a jaunt, right? When it comes down to both of these sites, B without a doubt the most preferred one, and Apathy being fully aware of that top piano position, truly the breaking point for both of these teams, and particularly the offense, as Legion will look to try and engage early. The nades are out, and Legion are fully prepared for it, but Silly coming through early as the Crick 6 makes its debut for the first time in this series.
今のクラシックのデスはなくない？
But great position in that back alley, really for that AR stud. That's where you want him to be. Few players beginning to fall as now Scraps, last man alive, the push over in top piano is going to be foiled as the nade comes through. Through early. Teams and particularly
階段ピークしてって死んでった。
Legion will look to try and engage early. The nades are out and Legion are fully prepared for it, but Silly coming through early.
こっちの車線まだ有効に生かせてないんだから無理ちゃうそれは。
But you know, a map like Miami, defense is going to be preferred a majority of the time.
いう話。
Legion there just could not really get their feet set all that much, but we'll see what the Gorillas now have up their sleeves in relation to the offense. As Vivid, as you called, finds the hat trick in round one. And these pre-nades, pre-stuns, and top piano. Gonna find that early information. Be a fast-paced player, but has to slow things up on this offense. It can be hard to find some angles. Keep in mind that player number one, that is going to be Vivid. He's been running that AR a lot more often. He's going to need it to work toward this beach side. And I believe that was Classic, who was in a position to maybe take him down. He vends not to. And it looks as if that bomb may be possibly on the rotation toward A. Assault's got it on his back, but Aqua and Classic.
多分ね、海外プロね、A 守り絶対クリック6なんよね。だから、
Scraps able to take that position into top purple. Got great timing on the Apathy there. Now puts his team up in a 4-3 advantage. Bomb is going to be towards the B site. Classic has his hands full with two players on this side, but he's going to hold the nade right to Assault's face. Now it's going to be a 4v2 for LAG. As I say, that fire is going to take down 1v4 for Vivid. He was that island player on that A site trying to make anything happen, trying to open up the first one, and able to open up with two. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. The bomb is going to be down. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to win this round, but those are two huge kills, man, especially if you want to go 5-5 and try to play for that defense.
And also in relation for streaks, too. Solid attempt from Vivid, but not going to... Who was in their pretty odd position. Didn't give themselves enough time to really make a play.
Yeah, I was talking about it before. Their offensive rounds, they decide to play it really slow. They wait to the very last second to see if someone can open up with a pick or eventually try to gain an opening and pushing up on the map to try to gain some information for the team to eventually work a bomb site. But once again, man, 30 seconds is when these guys are trying to commit to a bomb. Vivid able to open up with the first blood on the Aqua. A 6 spree is going to be able to spot Classic, trying to put down a couple shots. Classic's going to be one shot in the very middle of the map. Here comes Assault with some great shots.
だってこういうの絶対抜けるからクリック6だと。
More shots from Assault. Classic is absolute one shot. Last player is going to be laying mid-map. If you're Vivid the Warrior, you want to try to give this to Vivid. so he can earn those streaks. Assault's just trying to put some shots down. Here comes Vivid coming from that S&D, and he's going to be able to pick up the kill, and that's great communication right there.
Legion, streaks can really do some damage, but Vivid, for the Gorillas, we talked about his Search and Destroy performance last year was absolutely fantastic. Really his best game mode without a doubt in his rookie season. And he's showing us exactly why he is that S&D specialist. Is now the Gorillas back on offense, with that Krig, really for most players, just given how wide open this portion of the map is. We're seeing quite a few players, especially that bomb, kind of remain in mid. It looks as if the rotation now is prime for B. Scrap still sitting up top. Piano, he's going to be in one of these early engagements versus Apathy. Gets the pick, gets the timing. And Legion walks away with the first blood, but that's not going to stop him. A few players hanging out. Vivid finally ends up getting taken down from middle. The current 2 versus 4. LAG on the offense have made some progress when we talk about parking lot, but that's quickly going to be foiled as Fire takes down one. Assault now the last man alive. He drops as well. And Paris will tie things up.
And once again, man, another slow offense. You saw Vivid. He was the most important player on the game. He was one off a cruise missile. He should not be the island player. You should use your streaks to pull an early lead on the map. They use that artillery strike, making sure they're using all the pings when you gain all that information when you pop it. They should have a free A plant, and then eventually you use it on A. There's no way in hell they're going to use that bomb. So a really bad offensive round again out of the Gorillas. They're just wasting so much time on the clock. Unfortunately, Vivid does not get his cruise missile, but they've been winning their defenses, so they need to be able to answer back here.
Using streaks to possibly get some more, as that one will be tucked away for now. Legion back on the offense. We've been talking constantly about slow offensive rushes. The majority of the time, it's just really relying on one player to find the pick. Or has to adjust his reticle a little bit. Classic says, you know what, I'll jump in, no problem for me. Those trophies are going to be causing some problems as well. Really, utility, the nades, trying to find some info. They know somebody has to be sitting toward this back alley. This time it's going to be, it's going to be Silly, no doubt. With the Krig, one player enters the site. Apathy's able to find the trade as Fire. And the nade gets tossed out. Current 3v3, 28 seconds left, and that bomb is down, but not in the hands of
Spot Aqua. This is going to be a huge kill to making sure he's not able to get that pinch. Aqua's going to get taken down. Huge kill out of Assault. Scraps is able to go for the trade onto Silly. Now a 2v2 situation. Bomb needs to be planted. 10 seconds remaining. If you're number 2, you need to speed it up. Scraps is going to get shot in the back by Vivid. Here comes the bomb plant. It's going to go down. Too bad. Assault's going to be behind him, and defensive rounds.
Push with the bomb. Vivid still. And it appears, based off the mini-map, top side, LAG interested in A. Apathy, of course, with the bomb. Vivid still remaining through middle. And due to that many players from Gorilla stacking up at B, they will have to make somewhat of a transfer through that mid street. And that's where the ARs can really start to walk away with a few of those picks. And one of the men that happens to be sitting there is Aqua, trying to watch out for his teammates. Vivid finds the first blood. Does get picked, so a nice shot there coming in from U. The 74U finally ends up making its debut as Apathy with the bomb. Should be clear now over at A. 2 players still up from Legion. That's going to be Scraps and Fire, who aren't too far from the bomb.
3v2 situation. Paris Legion have a lot of work to do. You see that number 2 player, Assault, is watching the entire middle map from that purple area. Scraps decides to go right instead of left here. He will most likely die, but the time is ticking. 25 seconds. Fire is able to open up with a big kill on the Apathy. Now a 2v2 situation. Assault, great crossfire on the Scraps. Fire is going to be one shot on the bomb. Both players are just waiting, Here comes Silly, trying to go for the trade. 2v1 for Fire. He's going to get taken down, and that trade...
Using it if it's necessary, but they don't have to. They get out of a great situation, and we'll see what they can do, possibly bringing us now to a 5-2 scoreline. Legion in desperate need of a reply, just given that the first hardpoint obviously did not go in their favor. Maybe looking at Fire to go for the pick. He and Classic have been working so well together over in Garage, but this bomb site, I think Vivid does get the inside, does get the call as Apathy in the first engagement per usual. ends up finding scraps. And if you're on offense, you're trying to push B, you're relying on top piano to go your way. Now for Legion, your life gets just that much more difficult. Really, the ARs for Gorillas are just going to kind of stack up toward back alley. Player 7, though. Aqua could make somewhat of a difference in this round. Is going to spot someone on second story, shuts down Assault. So at least the man count looks better. Because of Aqua's positioning, it will free up rotation to A.
This is huge, man. Great plays out of Aqua, just slowly playing that beach side. But here comes that strike. All he has to do is just keep him off bomb. He's just stalling out time, making sure they don't have enough time to drop that bomb plant. Bomb carrier is going to go down. Classic. There's no way anyone has a chance to try to plant this bomb, and that is a great, great defensive round out of the Gorillas there. Perfect.
They're big numbers in the hard point. Vivid dropping a bomb. These guys to really make the big difference, and they obviously step up, and you notice it clearly in their performance, the way the team looks. Game is not done yet. I don't want to say early, but Aqua has anything to say about it. We could see a few more rounds as Legion clear off that top side of the map.
So now, taking out Vivid, here's that island player. Aqua is going to be all the way at that boat side, so even if they try to wrap back towards A, it's going to be a pretty impossible task to try to get him off one of those head glitches. So they're looking like they're going to try to commit this towards B. 3 players from Paris Legion are going to be set up waiting for this push. They're trying to push him from top purple. The only thing that scares me is that guy back alley, which is going to be Fire. Going to be posted up, watching this top entrance. Getting all the information that they need. Fire trying to put down a couple shots. 28 seconds remaining. He's gonna back down. Great shots out of Silly there to push him away. Here comes Apathy. Great opening onto Scraps. Now the bomb site is gonna be free. 17 seconds remaining on the clock. Silly's gonna open up with a big kill on a Fire, but here comes another player sliding out. It's gonna be Classic now. 1v2 for Aqua. He's gonna drop. What a phenomenal play out of the Gorillas. I did not.
あ、チェックメイトコントロールだ。そんなにやるほどない。でもきつくない結構。ああいう頭出しとくの。頭出しつうかさ、頭2分の1個ぐらいの形。だいぶきつくない。わかんない。マズルブレーキからかもしれないけど、俺が。俺はなんかああいうのはきついイメージある。
Yeah, this could be great for Paris, especially the way that they played Optic yesterday. It was so close, just some minor mistakes, even though it was a completely different map. It should be a great control. It's going to come down for me. It's just a sub-duo between Vivid and Apathy versus Scraps and Fire. Who's going to be able to control this plane more, setting up their AOs to put themselves in power position. It's looking like LAG right off the rip.
いや、多分ミリアクリグの仕事じゃね、やっぱり。
All spawn towards that yellow side.
Now we've only seen checkmate control once, I believe. That was at the Kickoff Classic with Toronto versus Minnesota. Big talking point about that was really the spawn flips, and rather not the spawn flips, the spawn control we saw coming in for both the offense and defense, as that was really the main attempt to toward that bottom side. And speaking of that, for the time, LAG try to get some control. Legion from there, they walk right up A Street. Now they're going to be 2 ticks in. One player actually was sitting inside a top plane. He quickly drops, and in the meantime, he will sacrifice his life, but it's not all for naught. As LAG quickly hop back in, 40 seconds left, and still some work to do.
Yeah, you're gonna see Apathy and Assault right there, just making sure they're committing towards that plane. Classic's gonna come through the side wing, able to take down one, able to take down the second as well. Trying to go for the third on the Silly, but here comes his teammate Fire, able to take him down. 3 for LAG are gonna go down. They're gonna be coming off spawn. They're looking like Paris Legion is going to be able to secure this 8 point, and this is huge, man. 20 to 15 lives remaining in favor of the Paris Legion. So far, they have made an answer in the very first round of this control.
That's what you want, right? Try to come out of this game 3 hot. Already a tick now at B. Gorillas look to try and adjust. Assault, one of those guys who can be that, especially with the XM4 on a map like Checkmate. They're destined to be together. Clears out the trophy and clears out Aqua. That'll be nice for them. In the meantime, again, we have to talk about it again with the spawn control. You can make it happen. Silly being aware.
リーグフルパー。ああ、リーグ行ってんの今。あ、フルパでやってるからあれか、枠がないみたいな。そういうこと。
So that right side is going to be open for Paris. They look to try to make the attempt, but Assault is here, and that's going to be a 5 streak. How about a 6? as Adam Assault putting him on skates, an excellent
なんで
attempt.
友達いるの？俺はいないよ。パメさん
Assault's all too
ぐらい
good.
しかいないから俺。
And this is beautiful. You see the players from LAG pushing up that left side where that A point was previously at. Once they push up all the way at that left side, they're going to force all the players from Paris Legion to spawn out towards back blue. And they are just flooding one in favor of Paris Legion. Now 5 lives are going to be remaining. No lives now for LAG. Only 4 players.
別に弱くてもいいなら友達たくさんできんじゃない？わかんないけど。
Have 6 lives remaining if you're Paris Legion. 1 player is going to go down. Fire. It's going to be begun of Apathy. Apathy trying to stay alive and playing Aqua.
悲しいね。悲しいと思うでも。
20 seconds remaining. Here comes Classic. The trade is going to come in.
そこで切る
That's
し
a 2v4 situation, but Assault and Apathy doing everything they can. Assault is going to be the last one alive. It's looking like it's going to be him versus Scraps and Fire. He has 11 seconds. All he has to do is just prevent these players from hopping the point, but he's going to get spotted, and the first round is going to go.
絶対リアだ。
First round goes to Paris, my goodness. Very exciting.
そんな嫌いな。
As Assault really is putting on
俺も嫌い
one
だけど。
heck of a performance, trying to bring LAG back. It nearly happened, but the 2 versus 1, and that's why we love Control, man. Control is absolutely phenomenal. We talked about what domination last year. You know, wasn't necessarily.
今ね、チロリアンっていうお菓子食ってる。かっけいさんは理解力にいるものだからわかる。
Excellent. Now here with 4v4, our first opportunity to have Control 4v4, and it leads to many exciting moments just like that one. Despite Assault's streak, it is Legion walking away with the first.
できてないっていうかしようとしないが正解じゃないかな。
Really, what Paris can do now, given their situation, given the setup that they're gonna look to try to lock down here on defense, and
ラダ6位。
let's actually go to
多分8位ぐらいになってる今。
with Paris.
Their side.
I'm waiting for you guys.
Their side, Assault. Absolute Assault.
I got
Their
him.
side. Wait, right? Or no?
Yeah, I'm pushing.
That was
No,
it.
we're good, we're good, we're
We're
good.
missing one.
Top
Yeah,
left,
he's
top
on me, he's on me. Apathy A.
Nessa
Apathy A.
done. I got a
He's on
win.
their side pillar.
Yeah, what's the thing I'm playing now? Oh,
He's on their side
I'm
pillar.
trying to get playing.
None.
Go top lane. He's low left, guys. I killed the guy on point.
I hear you.
One's front tube and top lane. You might be on the desk.
Top left wing, going to
top
plane.
Nice, Nick.
Nice, nice.
I went top lane. I went top lane with you.
Yo, one's in
Oh.
On A, on A,
Right,
dead side, A.
2 burn away, 2 burn
Nothing
away.
dead side. Alright, Vivid's front, you okay? I think there's like 3 back. Oh, one's
Yo,
playing.
when it playing Apathy and
Vivid dead side, A. Vivid dead side,
I
A.
got one.
back there.
Nice. Watch it on there, you can nade him.
I'm nading it. Where's he? Their side? On their side, he's 2 on it now. The spawning close, he's through
Yo, we
trophy
gotta
as
play
well.
Arxit. Arxit, one's pushing
Yo,
Arxit.
RXZ, what's up?
Great, great, great. I don't see him.
They're
Back
gonna
up.
rush me.
Look at right wing.
I'll
Look
be
at
back,
top
I'll be
right wing.
Top right wing, top right wing.
I don't see nothing on our
Top right
side.
wing. Top right wing.
At the bottom.
Coming up on this guy.
Give me an AP4, for sure.
Top great, great. No left, done.
Yeah. Looking for one.
Yeah, he's on there, downstairs. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
3,
3, 4.
4.
Alright, listen, I have right. Listen, I have right. I have right.
Okay,
Play top lane then.
I'm going under the plane. I'll peek left.
Top right wing looking right.
Dead, I'm probably 2 right now.
It's a great setup there from
マッチだとマッチしないよ。そんなことある。
but it wasn't fast enough as A does end up getting found, and now it's Gorillas really trying to fight out of their spawns right now. Study and off to the side, Classic trying to be somewhat of a problem. Currently 12 and 9 on the 3 spree, and just based off how this map works,
そんなことあんの？
how far back you can go. You have to be
それも
aware
見つからない。
if you do drop forward down because
や
of
ばい
the
ね。
way that those pushes could look. Classic ends up falling, so
来た。
step out of the way for LAG, still a minute
よかっ
on the
た。
clock, but no ticks yet over at that B point.
I just love the way that Paris Legion are playing this. Their defensive rounds, they're pushing up through that yellow crate, forcing the players to try to wrap back. Once they know that they're spawning back blue, they know that there's a player in their spawn. They're looking to try to find him. Scraps is on a 5-kill spree, just causing havoc in the opposite player's spawns. He's gonna eventually drop, but that's job done, man. If you're the Paris Legion, you gotta be feeling good, man. You're so far up 5 lives on this
マスター
defensive
3人の
round.
プルパ
You're the
オツ
Gorillas, you're gonna be thinking about that very first defense. Defense
マスター
on
実質
control
マスターだから
has to be basically guaranteed wins. And when you're dropping, especially on a map like Checkmate, you're putting yourselves in a hole. With only 7 lives remaining for LAG, there's
強っ
gonna drop. 27
今のやば
seconds remaining. No lives are gonna be in favor of LAG anymore. But Paris Legion so far, we asked for an answer, and they have been providing it so far.
常にライン高いな。
They
やっ
have
ぱり。
Fire putting up a good performance so far in this control, 15 and 14, and they're just really going to stay put. LAG maybe thinking about lives for future. When we talk about at round 5 is Silly now the last man alive, and is going to get cleared out. So on the Matrix, as this is
味方い
him,
ない。
has awoken 20 and 9 for him. An excellent performance coming through
これ終わったらちょっと横になりたいから。
Well, the way that the Paris Legion are looking at this round right here, it's an offensive round. They got a miracle win on their very first offensive round. So even if they lose this round, they're going to be going into another defense, which basically should guarantee them the map. You're going to see Classic just trying to push straight through this 8-point, pushing up for map control. Vivid is not going to spot him. A couple shots are going to go down on the Vivid. He's trying everything he can to stay alive, but Classic, being the smart player he is just going to back down, help his teammates cap this point a little quicker.
And that A street was really wide open. Classic runs right through, doesn't meet too much opposition, but the reason why is because Assault happens to be at their flank. The reason why the flank's open is because the flank was not. Great plays coming through from Assault as they'll clear him out. 2 ticks, or actually almost 2 ticks, found over at A as Assault will look to possibly remove some of that progression. And Fire on the 2 spree gets the opportunity to run up against Vivid. And Scraps will be there for the trade. Really, it's Paris trying to make some progress, but it's Adam Assault causing issues, ends things out on a 5 spree. And really, we talk about that top lane control. It's going to be everything. 40 seconds left. It started great for Legion. But really, because they couldn't get top lane control, they haven't really been able to make much progress since. Time's starting to tick away at Legion. They've got to make a move.
Yeah, they have not been able to push up on a point and secure anything yet because players just continue to be a nuisance in towards that yellow crate side. They're continuously forcing the players to spawn back blue. Now they have no one pushed up on that wave, so all the players from Paris Legion have to commit towards this A push. Apathy is going to be the only player here with his line of sight trying to stop them. 2 kills are going to go in favor of the LA Gorillas, and it's looking like they're going to be able to win this defensive round. But if you're them, you know you're going into an offense. You're going to be looking back at that very first back.
So given Apathy in the hard point, is Vivid in the S&D. And Assault, obviously on this map in particular, works great based off of his role. As LAG now put in a position as they'll try to make their way over at that B point. However, Scrap sits in their way, completely wiped away, but that rotation is now set over at that A street. Early picks coming through from Apathy. As Vivid looks to go for the trade, he ends up falling. A major stand happening for Classic as 3 go down for LAG, and that advancement toward the spawn. Keep in mind, player 5, he's going to try to play spoils and make that spawn so much more difficult to get out of.
Oh man, they're just being so aggressive on their defenses. They know exactly what's going on. Classic being in the position that he is, unfortunately he's going to get taken down, but forcing all the players to spawn up and try to hit towards B. At number 8 player is also Fire. He was in their base, just going to get taken down by Silly. But they just have multiple layers of people just posted up, waiting for them to just sprint straight at them. 3 players are going to go down for Paris Legion, so this could be the opening that the Gorillas need. Down 3, 4 lives now. They had to try to secure a point to extend this time.
It looks like the A street will be their opportunity. Assault ends up getting taken down, and there's going to be nobody in the point, at least for the moment. However, Apathy is going to be able to drop on in. The nade is here. He is going to be alive, and that trophy definitely coming into good usage. Apathy has quite a bit of them, but trade ends up coming in. Classic finds a big 2 as the point begins to clear. It's Assault, the sole man over at A. Vivid was trying to watch over his teammate. He's not able to do that. Time begins to halt. It's LAG, they need some time, and the big plays coming in from Scraps. They'll clear it out for the time as it looks as if clock beginning to go down. Life count really can't even be a problem for either of these teams. Some progress has to happen. Vivid drops from middle. Silly is also going to fall. And it looks as if Assault may be the final player that can get on the point. He also gets taken down, and that's going to be a Legion victory.
Oh, thank God. No 3-0, baby. We were
a lot of talking coming into that series. A lot of people discussing whether or not, you know, Clay versus LAT, how that one's going to shape.
You're forcing them at that back tank. So this is all going to be just communication, setups, who's going to be able to step up when they need to. So far, Matty Marshall has answered the call. Let's see if he continues to do so.
Yeah, man. Matty Marshall's gone through a lot to be on this Paris team. Again, we discussed it. You know, dropped from London to start this year. Had to quarantine in Cancun before heading to the States to play with the Legion. He's put it all on the line, and see if the Legion can force this one into a Game 5. A lot of momentum for these guys as we load in here for some Garrison Hardpoint, possibly final map of this series. At least if you're an LAG fan, you hope so. But like I said, when we talk about this map, the majority of that focus is going to be on P2, specifically that position in top green, currently locked down by Assault, which is where I expect them to be for majority of the time, Study.
Yeah, him just trying to set it live. Unfortunately, he's going to get taken down by Classic. Now with 25 seconds remaining on P1, you just have to try to just hold the line here, and that's exactly what LAG is doing. 2 kills are going to go in their favor. 15 seconds remaining on this hold hill. Here comes the third. He's going to get taken down, but they do have the spawns going into P2, and this can grow drastically for LAG. So far, this is a great hold on the very first hard point.
Traps gonna make a play. This could be a huge moment for them. Able to lock in the 1 versus 1. He actually would have had Classic from the back end, so what could have been a 2 versus 1 situation now turns into a 1 versus 1. Classic's able to win it. However, the nade comes through from the rookie, takes out the vet. Regardless of that, though, it is going to be Paris spawning close toward that close green. Aqua looking below him. He'll get shut down, but Fire, despite the team nade, ends up finding 2. A very well-contested hill up to this point for Paris, and it's Fire having a little bit of an opportunity to show out a little bit. That remaining 30 seconds looks to be in control of LAG for the moment, hoping to get some more control over green, and it looks as if they may have finally got that.
And I already see an adjustment that the Paris Legion have made. They decided to switch Fire to that XM4, change him to the flex role. Now they have Scraps and Classic running their double subs. Hopefully the young man is able to step up, and so far he's been doing his thing with that XM4. They do have the rotations going into P3. Gorillas do have a 50-point lead. But how long can they hold this push from the Gorillas?
Ends up next. Fire's trying to get set up. Quickly walks away with the first, but the fight is really already going down inside a shop. That's going to be wiped away first. Really wave of LAG quickly taken care of, and Fire's going to go on a nice little 5 spree before he gets taken down. Now really just kind of set up from the front. What's the attack look like for LAG? Keep in mind that top side player number 1 in Vivid, making his way through artillery. That's the way they can possibly flip the spawns here. Shuts down Fire. Last 2 players inside of the hill are going to be Classic and Scraps to deal with. Vivid, a tall task, but he's prepared for it. And at least for now is able to wipe away the time, trying to clear out the HP. And LAG are actually able to grab the last few seconds, and Vivid now goes on a 5 streak himself. Everybody's going on streaks, and Vivid says, why not me? Another opportunity, shuts down Classic from afar, finally taken down. Everybody's hot to start off this match, Dud.
Oh, man, and that's the best case scenario for the Gorillas right there. They decide to push towards that P3, go around the back, flip the spawns with 30 seconds remaining. But they ended up getting every single kill, forcing Paris Legion to spawn in the back of that P3 hardpoint. But 3 players are going to go down for the Gorillas. So far, Paris Legion are doing exactly what they need to do. Just pick up every kill possible. You don't have the right positionings. They're all going to be spawning at back left, so it's going to force all of Gorilla to spawn towards top green. But Scraps able to open up with the kill. Hill's finally going to get contested. Scraps is going to get taken down. Assault trying to do everything he can, but he's going to drop as well. And it's looking like Paris Legion are going to be able to get the remaining of this time and eventually take the lead.
Yep, Paris hold it well from the front. Multiple attacks from mid, multiple attacks from top green, as we'll see one last push be made from the Gorillas. Assault the last man there, and really from P4 to P5, you're really happy to have green control throughout a majority of these hills, but these 2 in particular, given the map advantage, given the line sights that you're going to have the opportunity to get. Now Paris looking to instantly force their attention inside of green. They do cut down Assault.
Fire なんか好き。なんか。
over here at boxes, waiting for the attempt. 5 and 12 start. Definitely wants to have a better performance as it progresses.
あれやな、シンプルに打ちが強いからいいよな、ファイヤーは。
Now this could turn into a scary situation given how far back these spawns are. Gorillas, they've got to break through quick, and player 6 in Classic is going to try to shut down the push through bricks.
クラシックってなんかこういう動きうまいけどさ、なんか負けるんよな。
So far, Paris Legion are playing this beautifully, man. We're talking about the Slain department. Look at Fire. The young man has came to play today. 18 and 11 ever since switching to that XM4. I think he might have...
LG の時からそういうイメージある。
Aqua, 14 and 8, really stepping up as well.
すごいね、なんかフランクとかそういうのうまい気がするけど、結構打ち負けてる気がする、そういう時に。
When it came to a certain couple of hard points, but the way that they answered back, holding this P5, holding that P4 from the front side is huge. Now they're going back in the second rotation of hard points. All the kills are going in favor of Paris Legion. They should be able to build a pretty drastic lead here.
And it's scary, right? Because of the way that P5 looks. I mean, you kind of do have spawns, but a lot of opportunities to hide, a lot of opportunities to really set up with an AR and make the opponents work for it. That's exactly what Paris does, as they now hold 125 to 87 advantage as we'll now reload, set in for our second set of rotations, and who else other than Paris? They wipe out the hill, they quickly hop back in, and really it's been a team effort up to this point. Positive for LAG, you still do have spawns, and it looks, at least for right now, nobody from Legion making their attempt up inside of top green. That really top side lane is going to be open, just as I begin to call it out. Classic, man who a lot of time rotates for this team. He's going to be set up for fire. They've got the 2v1 advantage, and they might as well hold on to radar here. Kind of a misstep from Gorillas. They kept forcing inside of the spawns, and now they lose what could be a major amount of time in P2.
Oh man, this is going to be the opening of the map. They should not have lost the spawns going into P2. I understand that Paris Legion dominated that P1 on the second rotations, but you got to be able to answer back with this P2 hardpoint. Classic, rotating nice and early, winning all the gunfights that he needs to. Vivid eventually going to get the trade, but he's the only player here for his team now. They had to basically get the remaining of this 40 seconds, and then eventually...
やっぱりハーポツさっきめちゃくちゃ正面から言ってるけど、やめたね。
Paris Legion is just trying to try to flood around this backside bricks to try to just keep them off as much time as possible, while they're trying to secure the spawns for that P3. But it's looking like number 3 in Silly is going to get a great spawn. How is he going to decide to play this? He's going to drop, and now they're going to be playing from the back foot again.
They are indeed LAG able to clear out the hill, but to no avail. Again, like you said, kind of playing from a bad position. And Fire again, just going to kind of hang out.
Really
just watch that bottom side of the map, watch through walkway, and pick off players as they come. Here comes the initial attempt from LAG. Apathy will quickly drop as Silly's still alive from the backside. He does have a little bit of teammate support. It is Assault who is in artillery. He drops as well. Silly really just wants to be an annoyance. He wants to try to cause as many problems as he can, and he is definitely being annoying toward the backside. Players still from Paris spawning in back gens, and they finally will clear out Silly, but really just a minor problem. Nothing all that major for Paris as Fire rotating from one end to the next. Is the XM4 up close? Not a problem for this guy. 7 in a row, 28 and 15. We've been giving them really a big waiting period. Study saying, when is this guy going to turn up? And really when Paris needs him most, he's here.
This is where you need to be if you're Fire. Now you're playing like the player that everyone expected you to be. 29.
散歩マジでプロレベルだとミス起こんないからめっちゃ大量得点の
It has definitely slowed down his gameplay. He stopped sprinting into gunfights. Started posting up a lot more, putting themselves in a lot greater position. Currently on an 8 spree for the young man. This is a phenomenal match so far for him. They have an 80-point lead. They're only 49 points away from closing out this map number 4 and pushing it to a map number 5. So far, if you're Fire and Aqua, if you guys just continue this train that you guys are on, you guys will be able to force it to that map 5.
They're relying on the Slayers, the guys who have been the ultimate difference makers really so far throughout the season for them. LAG in desperate need of a return. Fire falls, and really going to be the trade that ends up working out. So Gorilla.
邪魔や。なんだよこれ。
are able to clear out the hill for now. Early thoughts for that green control as Apathy has to sacrifice his life, but he pushes out the lane. Not the greatest of positions for LAG, but given the overall timing, you're happy to grab the remaining seconds that you do, but it's really going to be that next rotation, which can be a little bit chaotic. However, last time around, it was really roles reversed. It was Paris making LAG get uncomfortable, putting them in that spawn trap, and the Gorillas have the opportunity to do the exact same thing, and the man who leads for this team a lot of time in the slang is going to be Vivid. The opportunity to change things up. He will fall. Assault just after that decides to hop on in. He drops as well. Silly last man alive.
海外プロさ、内訳の時さ、ここの L 字とここの爪でポイント飛ばそうとしてる。飛ばそうっていうか、枚数削ろうとしてんだよ。
Back-to-back hills. LAG, they're looking better.
Yeah, and so far LAG is fighting. They are fighting so far. They just dominated that P3 hard point. I mean that P5. They're trying to hold them towards that back tank. Unfortunately, a couple kills are going back and forth, so they're not able to pick up a lot of time. But so far, they're fighting their way back into this game. Classic is in such a great position. He needs to be taken out of top green, but he's going to win that gunfight onto Apathy. Now, 218 to basically 200 points. This game is going to go down to the wire here, Lando.
Definitely is. We were hoping for a good series, and these two teams are giving it to us. Both rosters 0-1 to start. We've been talking about playoffs, how important it is. Both of these rosters are showing up to play as a big three go down in the feed. That's going to be Legion now hopping inside of the hill. 20 seconds left, and they can force the game 5 off of this hill alone. Gorillas are going to need a break. They do have that top green positioning as Apathy. He soars in from the skies. He quickly falls. Next SMG up is going to be Vivid. Aqua finds 2 in the feed. Silly tries to make an attempt from the top green position, but he falls as well. Possibly the last opportunity. Can Gorillas get here in time? The trade is there. The nade drops through, and Legion will force the game 5. A planted despite the nade.
That we expect him to have 17 and 30. I'm looking for him to bounce back in this map number 5. We got the El Clasico, baby. Woo. Let's go. Raid S&D, our very first game 5 of the entire season. Let's get into it, Lando.
It's going to be a fun one. Like we said, both of these teams fighting for their first victory so far in the CDL season. When it comes in a group play, when we talk about stage 1 playoffs, do not want to go down 0-2 in terms of your record. Kick things off with LAG on our first offense. It looks as if that is going to be A as their primary target. For Legion up to this point, pretty much a solid spread. Player 6 making some advancements, maybe towards Zig. It is going to be Classic, but for the moment, Assault going to be able to punch in those digits. Bomb will be planted despite the nade's attempt at ending out the objective. Bomb will be planted. Classic making his way through water steps. He had the opportunity for a flank, decides to go ahead and rush it in from the side. The trade is there. The top mansion player specifically is able to ruin some things. Possibly uniting are the Legion players. One from Art, one from Stairs. It is going to be Fire holding onto the head glitch. And how about the line sight from Aqua bringing it back? Scraps on the flank. He gets cut down. Current 2 versus 2. 15 seconds left on the clock. And a defuse is still necessary. Here comes the pinch. Fire's able to take him down. 2v1, and it looks as if Silly's going to be here for the kill. Able to make it happen is Justin Fargo. Not going to allow for that defuse to be made happen. The 2v1 clutch coming in early.
He decides to push straight through and hit through that zigzag. Tell them a greatly executed offense out of the Gorillas there. I mean, out of Paris Legion there.
Absolutely, buddy. How about that line sight, by the way, from Aqua, right? It's kind of toward the statue. I'll be using that in league play, folks.
You
know, always been fun, but we'll also see if we've got if any players have any more tricks up their sleeves. Round 2, Paris now their attempt at some offense. Classic holding on to the objective for now. As statue will be the focus. Really just the exchanging of some utility. Fire again. Major difference maker in that last game as Vivid does find the first blood on the other side of the map. The Legion a 3v4 as well as an offense, and Aqua gets taken down through the wall. And that's really what that Krig is there for, Study.
Yeah, he's able to put some great shots on Aqua through that wall. Now it's a 1v3 for Young Fire. Can he make an impact? Can he try to change the outcome of this round? He does have the bomb. 30 seconds remaining. It's going to be a one-on-one.
Is obviously starting off the rip. We'll have to see him in the next one. Oh, hit to the respawn screen, and Scraps as well gets the great timing. That's going to be 2.
Scraps able to open the Legion. One player.
Classic is chewing on. Maybe
higher time. You kill him, you're going to gain so much information. It can really open up one side of the map.
I don't know if you saw quickly in those player cams. I'm not sure what Classic is chewing on. Maybe Steph Curry mouthpiece. Not really sure. Regardless, speaking to Classic, he's going to go and put that objective down. And really right now for the Gorillas, looked as if it may have been an attempt to push through the flank. However, they're dropping like flies. Apathy able to get some signs of life, but it's all going to be brought up now to him as his teammate falls. Apathy has to.
It's exactly for them. B, they got.
It's over at the A bomb site, which is going to be the more common cover that you've got, given you got top pool house or top mansion, whatever you call it. Early shot, 17 HP, as Vivid will feel the wrath of Aqua. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's Scraps trying to get a nice line sight over at top Art, but nothing doing for now. A slower read for LAG. Nothing really gained, and off of this rotation, Scraps has the ability to play massive right now. Silly gets the call. First blood. That's going to be one wave closed down. However, player 6, Classic, hanging out in the pillars as he'll be able to back up. So huge play coming in from Nicky D. He's able to join alongside of his teammates as they'll attempt the 3v4 retake. However, from the top, Aqua with the AR shuts down Silly. Accurate shots. I believe it's Classic who actually does get rewarded with the kill. And he might hear Assault. Might hear Assault. Vivid, meanwhile, finding one through mid. It's going to be Fire now, last up. We're to shut down one. Obviously realizes the objective is the main focus for now. Bomb is going to be planted. And now left on to the rookie. A lot of pressure gained. He's made so much progress in the challengers. He's been preparing for this moment. A 4-1 start, a huge performance in the hard point, and the vets, Assault and Apathy, 3 championships among them both combined as they're going to play this one smart, trying to back up, make Fire go for the aggressive route, and he's not going to be able to get. Just you're going up against Discipline team, not going to give him anything to work with. And my goodness, these AR shots off the rip as Aqua gets brought down to 2 HP. Sweat off the brow type of situation as here come the engagements. Apathy finds the first, tagged up by Classic. And Fire's also going to be here, so a 2v2 fight. Silly's able to win it. Apathy's still alive, still hanging out somewhere around the map as everybody somewhat turned around.
Now it's Aqua left in a 1v3. Bomb is going to be down. I would have liked to see Paris Legion, if they're going to commit towards pushing out Laundry, do it together, not solo. And it's looking like Aqua's going to be one shot in the ring. He's going to drop, and
looks as if it's going to be, at least for the moment, just trying to gain some attention. Fortunate nade coming in from App, but one of a route over at A. And really, it's just a matter of looking for that information. Classic decides to get a little bit aggressive. Somehow, everybody's staying alive. Everybody's somehow able to take some bullets to the chest and just wipe it off. That's what it means in this game 5. Not going to be easy. Classic decides to make the route. Can he find one in Zig? He does. And again, stays alive. The big plays coming through from Nicky D. Does lose Aqua in the process. Current 3 versus 3. Fire tosses out the nade, but Apathy's going to stay alive. Really, thankfully, we'll throw down the trophy system for good measure. We'll see how this 3v3 retake looks for Legion now.
Yep, 3v3, 35 seconds remaining on the clock. That number 5 player is going to be going all the way around. It's going to be Scraps. He's going to be fighting Silly once again on that backside. Fire trying to come down water steps, able to take down Apathy. One player is going to be in Tiki. Silly's going to be post up in the top window. It's looking like Scrap's going to wrap back all the way through money. Try to focus on Vivid. Vivid is reading this perfectly. Just going shoulders. Silly, unfortunately, is going to lose a gunfight to Fire. Now it's a 2v1 situation. And just like that, Scraps able to take down Vivid. I love the heads-up play out of Scraps there. He doesn't commit to the full flank. He just wraps Paris Legion.
A situation where he didn't think he really had the opportunity to. Legion at least buy themselves back around to get back into this one. Early first bloods coming in from both teams. A trade overall.
Oh,
that's going to be Vivid having to back up, realizing that A is somewhat going to be wide open. They've got no real pressure inside of middle. I think the farthest pushed up player is going to be Assault. He's really just watching that front kitchen door. This could be a great opportunity for the Legion. They don't really have a ton of players to really work with, given the stack up that they have, but they may have a lane over at A. One player in basketball courts, that is Vivid. He's going to go ahead and move up, but here come the trophies and here comes the push.
Silly needs to be that playmaker. All the action is going down towards that A site. He's going to decide finally to push through this ring, gaining all the information that they are committing towards A, but it's looking like Paris Legion are going to decide to wrap this back. Do the LA Gorillas read this beautifully? One play is going to be water steps, and that Silly's going to be able to spot him. Now, he's in a great position just controlling this ring. Going to be able to spot Fire, gaining all the information. They're coming B. They're coming B. Trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, he's going to drop the Scraps. Now, 2v2 situation with 15 seconds remaining on the clock. One player needs to plant. One player needs to cover him. Who is going to make that play? Number 2, Assault is going to be in the top window. But Scraps is playing on the backside. Scraps, unfortunately, is going to get taken out off bomb. Now it's going to be left at the Fire, but a great play out of the Gorillas there, being patient. I thought it was going to cost them in the end, but Silly just staying alive at that potentially.
Shining through Vivid with the big double. Closes out the 2 versus 2, and as you called it, Study, LAG 1 round away from their first victory in the CDL. And how about that shot from Silly through the white van? That particular vehicle really has made a lot of moments in COD history, and that is a great shot coming in from him. However, on the fade back, Classic is going to take him down. Vivid's progressed a lot, though. In terms of the map positioning, he's actually going to be someone in their base. And now it's all up to Scraps and Fire again. I think this is, what, almost 2, if not 3 rounds in a row where they're the last players up. And how about that play from Scraps? He keeps Fire alive. I think he made the call. Fire decides to head in some money. And now we find ourselves in a 2 versus 2. Scraps hanging out over at that money window. Fire's going to get the free pick. Now it's all on to Silly in a 1 versus 2. 30 seconds left. He still has to make some progress in regards to the objective. Sees the corner shoulder. Scraps v Silly. 20 seconds remaining. Scraps had a good idea when Apathy fell. He normally does have the objective for the team. Is going to decide to back up, and this could be the timing. Silly's going to plant for the wrong side. Scraps just has to peek, and Scraps will. Paris, they keep the game going.
Paris Legion staying alive when they need to the most. Vivid on back from long. Scraps once again. See on to Class. He plays nice and slow. He's usually going to try to find that player. If he doesn't locate it, he'll plant at the very last second. So now we find ourselves in a round 10. First blood is going to go towards Vivid onto Classic, and we know that information. Classic is their bomb carrier. Once Vivid gets that piece of information, look at what LAG is doing, pushing straight up Zig. They have all the map control right now.
Do indeed. Farthest pushed up player is going to be Apathy. Really the one guy that you don't want to face off against in this spot. Is Aqua going to check it? Aqua's not. It's now going to be a 4 versus 2. LAG. Ball is in their court. Fire has to make some progress with that bomb. He's going to try to find the peak, but a smart move from Gorillas is they really just want to stack up. They realize the advantage that they've got. They're obviously going to be in the advantageous position in regards to trades. And in what, 4th round in a row, I think? Scraps and Fire left to clutch. And Vivid trying to hold an angle. Silly, pixel perfect. Takes down the rookie, as now it's all going to be on to Scraps. A 1 versus 4. The objective is down, and what can he do? The answer is nothing, as LAG will put in the defuse, grabbing their first victory of the CDL season.
Oh, man, what a phenomenal Game 5 that was. Congratulations to the LA Gorillas on closing this out. But if you are them, closing out this series 3-2 when you were up 2-0, you have a lot to go back and watch, man. You guys were making so many mistakes when it came to that control, when it came to Garrison hardpoint, not rotating, not being in the places, not winning certain gunfights, but the fact that they were able to push it all the way to Game 5 and eventually...